Hospitals work round the clock to serve patients. Being at the center of the action, hospital physicians and staff must confront every situation and every challenge. They must also keep up with evolving health needs and knowledge through ongoing comprehensive training programs. What they need is a promising solution to ensure a continuous learning journey.
In today's world, technology is transforming life. Be it taxis, food delivery, everything we need is at our fingertips. Education is also going through a transformation, and we are at the forefront in the healthcare industry.
MedLern is a comprehensive learning, training and skill development platform incubated at Impulsys in India for healthcare professionals to attain the right mix of content, learning and skills that help them throughout their career. The platform offers a wide variety of courses that enable hospitals to meet their employee training and development needs in areas of quality compliance, soft skills and induction. The platform is designed in a way that it enables easy tracking of the real-time status of their learning progress. What's unique about this platform is that it's accessible anytime, anywhere, ensuring quality learning literally at your fingertips. Hospitals can now assign courses and track the competencies of users on specific topics with MedLern's intelligent assessment tool, which gives them better administrative control. Its superior courseware helps hospitals provide standardized care and bridge skill gaps at every level in the organization. The healthcare professionals will also become more efficient and empowered when their learning journey progresses with ease and at their convenience. Let us unite to improve healthcare in India by spreading knowledge through technology. MedLern, better prepared for better care.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I welcome each one of you for this workshop on lead management, the cost leadership program. I think about MedLearn, we just saw the video, and the video is pretty self-explanatory, and you might have got a good amount of idea about what we do, what are we into, and how we contribute or how we work with healthcare, through our various trainings and platform, and work towards giving excellence, skill knowledge to every healthcare professionals around the globe. So MedLearn, as such, we are the only healthcare training partner, existing in Asia as of now, and we have platform-based training programs, we have content, and we have n number of programs in our content library, and we also have expert-led training program, that is the instructors who are giving training program. Hi, Ajita Baburaj. I head the instructor-led training program for MedLearn. And today we are conducting this workshop, live workshop, which is actually happening for the first time, where we have participants from different hospitals who have come together and sharing the single platform. And this is going to be a milestone for us because this is the first time, as I told you. And we have a faculty facilitator today, Miss Prija Sridharan. About her, we will give you more introduction. And I welcome each one of you for this session. I hope these 3 hours you are really going to gain the maximum knowledge or information what Madam is going to provide us today, and which will help you in your day-to-day work. And as all of you have been leaders in the system, and you will be in a better state or a position to handle the most common issue, that's the cost issue. Most of our we want to do many things in a hospital. We want to do so much of service and care, and we want to be very very lenient in various process. But because of the cost or the budget or lack of manpower or whatever may be, each hospital has their own constraints. So because of these reasons, we are not able to deliver certain things the way we want to be. I myself, I've been working in healthcare for past 25 years. I'm a healthcare operations person, and then I have also handled the learning and development in many of the hospitals. So I have been in your position many times, and most of the time our hands are tied up, because we don't have budget. We'll see in the next fiscal year. These are the reasons what we get. So today, ma'am is going to give us some various tips and ideas on how we can utilize the existing resource and give the best service to the patients. All right, and how we can utilize our manpower resource, our materials, our process, how we can cut down on certain unnecessary process, which will add much value and reduce the time, and we can give the same quality of care to the customer what we are already giving. I don't want to talk much in depth about the topic, because we have the expert on the on the dais today. So I think she will be taking it over. I introduce Richa Agarwal. She is from my team. She's the instructor-led trainer. She will. I'll request Richa to give a brief introduction about Preja ma'am. I once again welcome all of you. A happy learning. Thank you so much. Richa, over to you.
Thank you, Ajita. Good morning, everyone. So, I am extremely delighted to take this opportunity to introduce our guest speaker for today's program. She is none other than Ms. Preja Sridhar. Preja Sridhar is an organization development consultant and a trainer. She is a well-known name in the arena of corporate training. For the past 24 years, she has been conducting various quality programs for entry-level, middle, and top-level professionals. She has presented research papers in the area of human resource management, organization behavior, and communication at IIM Kanpur, Indore, and Lucknow. Prija has a master's in mass communication and journalism, master's in psychology, and also a post graduation in human resource management. Prija is the name that is reflected on the board of many organizations. Her clients include Adani Group, Power Grid Corporation, Pankaja Kasturi Prestige Group, Advanced Healthcare, Beyond Codes, Khan Academy, OSI, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, ITC, L&T, and many more. We welcome you to the program, ma'am. It's our privilege to have you here with us. I wish
Thank you.
everyone present here happy learning. I request you, ma'am, to just brief all the participants about the program. Over to you, Prija, ma'am.
Thank you so
Ma'am,
much, Richama.
I just take a 1 second, just
Please,
a
please.
few ground rules. I'm sorry I missed that part. So as Subhashri was saying that right now, all your cameras, you can enable your camera, but your audio is muted. So if anyone wants to speak in between, you can raise your hand. You can on your camera raise your hand. Subhashri from the back end will unmute you, and then you can speak. So we have just intentionally kept this control so that it is will not have much of unnecessary disturbance during the program. That's it. Otherwise, we will try to make it as funful and activity based. We know it is a virtual program, and bit challenging, because we wish it was a live session. We could have made it more entertaining. I'm sure Preja ma'am will take care of that. And but you're free to say, please open up, because it has to be an interactive session. It is a mutual learning, because you're all already leaders. You have lots of experience you're carrying along with you. Everyone else, who are already there, they want to hear from each one of you. So please let us know if you want to say anything. We will unmute you immediately. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry, ma'am, I took your time.
No, no, no,
Please, ma'am,
definitely
please
not.
carry on. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Richa and Jita, for first of all giving a warm introduction about myself. Indeed, it is a great honor and privilege to be on such a wonderful platform where I'm connected to people who are geographically located. So, a warm morning, warm noon to all of you out here. And as she rightly mentioned, it's going to be a happy learning. But at the end of the day, there is something called as a key takeaway, because we aren't just here on this platform just for the heck of it. We definitely come with some aim, purpose, and objective. The objective being whatever the learning you can accumulate from this session has to be put in the practical perspective at your workplace. So, first of all, I believe as a facilitator that any opportunity given for learning should be a proactive one. It just can't be one sided. It's not a one-side affair. It has to be a combination and culmination of both the participants and the facilitator, because learning is give and take. It's a two-sided affair. So I would request all of you out here to unmute yourself and talk to me at any point in time, in case if you have a query, or in case if you want to disagree, or in case if you want to value add, give some additional inputs to the session, because the topic as such is very interesting, and it is a effective process that has been practiced all over the world. So it's just not a collection of some PowerPoint presentation put together. It is more customized, keeping in mind your background, your experiences, and your learning. And as Ms. Ajita put it across, you're all leaders in your own area, in your own arena, in your own spaces. And we are just, catalyst propellers trying to put forth our thoughts and ideas. So as a facilitator, I'm also open for your inputs. I would be more than happy if you can also contribute in this particular, two-way process of learning. With this note, I get it started. Before I share my PowerPoint and before I share the content and all that, let me tell you that in today's times, first of all, if you are alive and kicking, you should thank the universe for this opportunity. So we always begin any session with an attitude of gratitude. So take a second to just thank the Almighty that you have this great opportunity of connecting with people around. You are still breathing, you're alive and kicking, and you have an opportunity to learn, relearn, and unlearn. So a second, to thank the Almighty for your life, for your great body, mind, spirit, and soul. Yes. All right. So what is the speciality of today's times? You all know you're still sailing through pandemic. Many of us thought pandemic is over, but I strongly disagree, because pandemic is still there. But yes, the face of pandemic has definitely eroded, right? Now, healthcare has been one area where during pandemic you've been tossed and turned, you've been put directly from the frying pan into the fire, right? Yes, of course, whole mankind had witnessed a lot of changes, paradigm shift, metamorphosis. But when it comes to the healthcare sector, pandemic had taken a huge toll on healthcare sector. People associated with healthcare sector have been, really into a major, what do I say, tough times. Yes. Now, this is where I want to start with a metaphor of a dinosaurus and a cockroach. If I were to ask you how many of you have seen a dinosaurus, you would say, what's wrong with you? We have not seen a dinosaurus. We have only seen it on the internet, and we have seen only on the movie Jurassic Park and things like that. But on the other hand, if I ask you how many of you have not seen a cockroach, you'll say, no, come on. We've been seeing creepy, crawly cockroaches all the time. Now, what is the difference? The research says if there is a nuclear fission and the entire Homo sapiens gets wiped away from the universe, it's only the cockroach that's going to survive to tell the tale. The reason being, the cockroaches can very well adapt and adjust and be agile to any kind of environment, any kind of scenario, right? Now, if we have seen cockroaches at home, kitchen area and the bathroom area is one favorite spot for these cockroaches. Just go there and switch on the light after 10 o'clock. You will find a party happening, a huge party happening, a wonderful hangama happening. Uncles, aunts, cousins, boyfriends, girlfriends, everybody have assembled there. And the moment you switch on the light, you will never realize from which direction did they ever come and where did they vanish. Oh, I'm not able to find them now. Where did they go? And in case if you spot one and you wanted to kill it, you applied your pressure, but that was not too intense. It'll fall flat and pretend as if it is dead. Come on, don't think and don't say only we can pretend. I think they can also pretend very well. Nature has been very kind enough. It will not budge an inch at least for few seconds. It will analyze whether the enemy is here in the vicinity or not, and then slowly start moving its antenna. And if still nothing is happening, it'll take a turn and then start limping and running away. Right. Now, what is that learning? The learning is very clear. In the current times, we need to be like cockroaches, not creepy crawlier. It's nothing to do with creeping and crawling, but more with agility, adaptability, and curiosity. So the huge mammoth Dinosaurs could not survive to tell the tale, whereas the cockroaches are there, is there, will be there. And the today's era is called as Bani, B-A-N-I. B stands for brittle, A stands for anxious, anxiety prone, N stands for non-linear, and C stands for comprehensible. Once upon a time, people said VUCA world, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. But today we have moved across VUCA world, it is Bani world. So in a brittle world, you are prone to be anxious if you do not take care of your customer, internal stakeholders, or you yourself. And the whole thing looks so very ambiguous, not clear. Having said that, at the end of the day, the businesses are important. The show must go on. Customer centricity approaches rule the roost. In your case, patient centricity rules the roost. But having said, all that is fine. What did you bring to the table? What is the cost that you have saved for the company matters? As Ajita rightly put it across in the beginning, the most important aspect is the cost differentiator, cut above the rest. What is the savings we have done for ourselves? The return on investment. ROI, ROP, return on products and services, and ROC, return on customers. So this has become the mantra in today's world. Now, do we have any processes in place, time test processes in place? Yes, very much. So when I'm introducing you to the concept of cost leadership, okay, I'm also trying to introduce or integrate beautiful concepts of the 3 M's, which is picked from lean philosophy. Okay, and let me tell you that at the moment, all the leading companies in the world are blindly aping the TQM practices, total quality management practices. So the objective of entire program is to introduce you to time-tested tools and techniques that can be introduced to stop the non-value added perspectives, or how to control waste, how to stop unwanted, irrelevant uses in terms of all the 3 P's: people, processes, and the products. So let's get it going. Allow me to share my PowerPoint presentation and let me know if you can see my screen. Is it visible? Ajita, is it visible? Not visible. Okay.
Not at
Just
ma'am.
one second, one second. Just. Now?
Your video is struck. I think you're just
Okay.
just buffering maybe.
Now, can you see my PowerPoint? 3M essentials for cost leadership, primarily in the healthcare sector. So I'm looking into the tools and techniques. As I mentioned to you earlier, it is just not a definition, or it's just not going to be the concepts that would be discussed with you. So why am I trying to emphasize on this? Because I would request you to ask me a lot of questions, because this is more on the practicality of how do we use these tools and techniques to get an output or an outcome. It's like a more or less like a metrics. Now, moving on to the next slides. Next slide, please, Ajita. So let me tell you why are we here today. As I mentioned to you, this workshop is based on the 3M concept. Now, what is this 3M concept? I will tell you in near future. But then let me tell you that this concept is purely meant for eliminating non-value added activities. Why are we referring to this non-value added activities? What are these non-value added activities in terms of man, materials, machinery, or money for that matter sometimes? Enough resources not being pumped across so that the process gets stalled, so on and so forth. Similarly, the aim of the session is also to focus on the concept of the patient centricity approach. Now, when I use this word patient centricity approach, going back to the most commonly used word, customer satisfaction. We don't talk about customer satisfaction, customer delight. All these things have gone with the wind. Today, it is customer care. And how do we define the word customer care? If a customer is on the Eiffel Tower and if he asks for an ice cream with a particular flavor, and if we can deliver it within 30 seconds, then that's customer care. So as professionals, let us understand that the primary objective is definitely the customer care perspective. And being in healthcare sector, I think there's no trade-off for this particular word. And thirdly, this enables to save the cost of resources, time, money, material, and helps in fueling profitability and productivity. So the whole purpose of this workshop is to understand certain tools and techniques which can be incorporated at the workplace to derive certain outcomes. So it's a experiential learning, but at the same time, you would find the tools and techniques which are mentioned here in terms of the 3M, which I would take you through right now, would help you to definitely work on the cost leadership factor. Moving on. Now, can you just share the next? Yes. Now, why do you think some of the organizations are doing extremely well in the world? It could be the Teslas or Amazons or any leading organization, because they have few things in place. It could be the vision, mission, objective, and the alignment of the individuals, teams, and the organization themselves, which is creating a solid resonating effect. See, we always use this word in an organizational context: resonance versus dissonance. Resonance is a positive terminology. It relates to the synergy that's been created in an organization, right from the individuals to the groups and to the organization. So what I'm trying to tell you is the leading organizations in the world always have connected with this vision, mission, objective, and the individual's personal mission. Now, let's say, for instance, I'm associated with an organization, XYZ is associated with an organization. As an individual, your personal vision and mission should be in sync with the organization's vision and mission. This itself is a concept of thought leadership. Okay. Now, giving an example of Wipro, Indian-based organization. Why Wipro? Because if you look at the case study of Wipro, you would see that Wipro at one point in time was a dalda manufacturing company, oil manufacturing company. An oil manufacturing company to a silicon chip IT-based company is a miracle. Look at the paradigm shift. Look at the transformation and metamorphosis, which is not easy, right? So if you can relate this example to what is called as the resonating effect, crafting personal vision and mission to the vision and mission of the organization, meaning the commitment, dedication, transparency in communication, ethical approaches, standardized structure has to be, integrated across the teams, within the teams, groups, and with the organization, with the individuals. So as an individual, if you believe that I'm in synchronization, I'm in sync with the vision and mission of the organization, I think half the battle is won. So to create that resonating effect, we as individuals have to believe that we are an asset in the organization, and the change has to happen within us, within ourselves. So please make a note of this formula. Mindsets leads to skill sets and tool sets. Mindset emanates from individuals, right? So a mindset to change, a mindset to look the bigger picture, a mindset to connect with your personal mission and the organization's mission, a mindset to bring quality, a mindset to bring speed and agility, a mindset to drive customer centricity. So mindset drives everything. Mindset leads to skill set, and skill set leads to tool set. This is the first formula. I would request you to write down. I always would request people whenever they are in a platform for learning, they need to carry a book and a pen. Very important. A book and a pen is a must. So please, we will have a what is called as a recap at the end of the session. I would definitely ask everybody, how many formulas have you captured for the day? How many jargons and glossaries have you captured for the day? How many concepts have you captured for the day? So please keep a sheet separately which would talk about your formulas for the day. How many formulas have you captured? So the first formula for today is mindset is equal to skill set plus tool set. If I don't carry a mindset of looking into the bigger picture, if I don't carry a mindset of quality, speed, agility, customer centricity approach, change in my processes, I don't think anything can make any change. Okay. Do you agree, first of all? Do you agree or disagree? Anybody can unmute yourself and speak on this concept. Why some of the organizations are doing extremely well. And I'm trying to tell you that the change is the propelling change happens, or the positive catalyst happens from individuals like us. The mindset's what we carry. Would you like to add something on this? I would request you to talk to me. If any questions or any thought process which you would like to share it across. See, let us make this as in a conversational mode. Anybody out there? Okay, so maybe you're mulling over it. Maybe you're reflecting over it. Maybe you're introspecting, right? So we make a change. It's not just the infrastructure. So going back to the example of Wipro, I said that Wipro, an oil manufacturing company at one point in time, today is a silicon chip on par with IT, competing with one of the leading IT companies in the world. So how do you think this transformation happened? Of course, the mindset and the skill set and the tool set. And that's where we talk about, yes, cost leadership, thought leadership, etc. Everything starts as somebody's idea. So let's today bring in an idea of cost leadership through the 3M process. Moving on to the next slide. What is cost leadership? And I believe that the cost leadership concept is the need of the hour. Simply said, cost leadership is nothing but a strategy integrated with set of actions designed to produce or deliver goods or services at the lowest cost relative to that of competitors with features that are acceptable to customers. In other words, there is no compromise on quality. You're giving the same fabulous product or services to your customers, however, at a reasonable cost, however, at an economical price. Now, how do you think this cost leadership concept has come into the world? The word or this particular concept was coined by Michael Porter, very famous management guru, in his book Competitive Advantage. So when he introduced this concept, the focus was on cost as a differentiator. However, also with an intention of eliminating waste, eliminating non-value added perspectives. At the same, you're offering the same price, but when you compare the price with the competitors, you would notice that your price is low, but there is no compromise on the quality, no compromise on speed and agility. So this concept had captured market like anything way back. And from time immemorial, most of the leading organizations in the world are practicing cost leadership strategy. However, in today's session, what we are trying to do is we are not completely focusing on the cost leadership metrics. We are trying to follow the process of cost leadership with a solid component of 3M. Moving on to the next slide. So our session would focus on the tools and techniques to derive this concept of cost leadership. Let's move to the next slide and look at the glaring issues in the healthcare. Now, this research is picked from the year 2022, which has identified few of the most pressing challenges in the healthcare sector alone. What are the issues? I've identified the most pressing ones for the four glaring issues, to begin with the fast evolving government regulation, especially during the COVID-19 era. It started off the bylaws being changed, regulation being changed. Technological innovations have always been a double-edged sword looming large upfront. Patient expectations has changed like anything. Customer care, as I told you, it's more of do or die, perform or perish, survive or sink, and then streamlining the internal efficiencies and quality issues. The research has identified these four issues as the most pressing challenges in the healthcare domain. All right. Now, whatever the issues are, as professionals, when I talk about deriving cost leadership, I would say that first let us look into the problems. Now, I would want you to open your books and write this word problem. Can you give a image for the word problem? What do you think your problem looks like at the moment? Is it looking like a sun, a moon, a tree, a, a brook, a river, a mountain, a molehill, a snake, or a wild animal, or a virus, or a bacteria, or an alien from some other planet? How do you think you define your problem is my question. Don't write anything, but just tell me, how's your problem looking at the moment? How's your problem looking at the moment? What is the shape you would like to give to your problem at the moment? I would want you to answer. I would want you to talk to me, because without an interaction from your end, you can very well understand. It gives me a feeling that I'm talking to the desktop. I would want you to talk to me. Yeah, great. Yes, yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Subhashri, can you mute her?
Yeah, who's this? I'm not.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes.
Uh, 1 second.
Yeah. Shubhashri, I think you can.
Ma'am, you have muted yourself. Can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Can you if somebody wants to speak, can you on their camera so
Yes,
that I can
please.
unmute them?
Super. Yeah, you have to unmute her, I think.
Yes. So you can speak. You have to unmute yourself and speak.
I think it is
Dr.
Pramada. Pramada wants to speak, but she's still on mute. The two people speaking. Let's start with Pramada, please. Pramada was the first person.
Okay.
She's still on mute.
Yes, yes. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Pramada, you can speak
Yes,
now.
yes, Pramada.
Hi, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Ajita, can you
Good morning,
please stop sharing?
ma'am. Good morning to all.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, ma'am. As you said, every day, we cannot define what problems exactly. As I'm from a healthcare management basis, so each day the problems difference is there. One day it's like a virus means next day it will look like bacteria, and the
True,
third day it will be in worse condition where we doesn't have a curement for this.
true,
So
true,
we cannot
Pramada.
tell the exact shape of a problem. It
So
depends on
I would say your problem is like an amoeba. One
yes,
day
exactly,
shapeless,
exactly. It will affect each and
Yeah,
every corners. It will affect, and
correct,
each day the depth of the problem will be different. Some
correct,
problems we can look into it and we will have a solution to sort it out within seconds. And some
correct,
we have a half an hour, 1 hour. Some it will not finish in a day. It will take up
correct.
to next day also. It
Absolutely.
depends on how deep the problem is.
Correct, Pramada. I totally agree with you. And there was somebody else also who wanted to talk, but let me address this question. I mean, not a question, her thought. Pramada put her thought very clearly. One day it looks like a virus, the other day it looks like a bacteria. It's like a pseudopodia, false feet of a amoeba. So, exactly. And we always salute people from the healthcare, as you rightly said. We don't know how the problem is going to occur today. It is a molehill on one day, and the other day you find a mountain. But as healthcare professionals, you always believe in solution centricity. We want to give the best solution to our customer, is what comes from your gut. There is always that intrinsic thought which says whatever the problem is, whatever the shape,
That's
size
why
of the problem is. Ha,
when
Pramada.
an issue comes, solve it. My intention is the same sort of issue should not repeat.
Exactly. So you want to arrest that condition and also believe
Exactly.
prevention is
And
better than
make it
cure.
clear that whenever it happens again, this will be the solution for that. There is no
Exactly.
change in that until and unless any other changes from government or regulations has interfere in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now, as a professional, you are always looking for the different sizes of problem, different shape of problem. But at the same time, as you mentioned, you have some solution. You look into solution centricity, right? You always have a solution. So your problem is shapeless. That is what you said. So that's the answer from your end, what I understand. Now, anybody else wants to give? Anybody else wants to show me how is your problem? Yes, sir. He's also on mute. Sir is on mute. I'm not able to hear him. 1 second, sir. You're on mute.
So please unmute yourself. I have enabled your mic.
No, he can't because there is something. The it shows a very different sign there. Actually.
No, it is changed. Now he can unmute.
Ah.
You can
Oh.
unmute.
Dr. Arun, can you just unmute yourself?
No, he's not able to unmute, Ajita. I think there's a problem because I can
It's a
see
normal
that.
sign, ma'am.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that sign is changed now.
So
Sir,
there will be a symbol like mic. You can just click on that.
On the top, next to the leave button,
On the
you can see a mic, camera, mic.
it is showing some
yeah,
sign
you
like
have to
this.
click on that. You have to click on that, sir.
Just
You have
click
to
there.
click on that.
No, it is
Okay,
not
it's
happening. Oh,
So
not
can you
happening.
just once again try, Subhashri?
I have enabled him.
Try once more.
Yeah, no,
See, if
try
it
once
is
again.
enabled, disabled.
Because
Yeah.
I can find a sign on his mic like this, you know.
Yeah, now it is enabled. Can you try now, sir? No, again you disabled.
Wait. Now he can.
Can you try now, sir?
No, still I can
No.
find that symbol. Sir, we will come back to you. Otherwise, you can
Maybe
put
you
it in
can
the
just
chat.
put your message. Can you
Chat.
put your point in the chat? What
Yes,
do you
sir.
want to convey?
Okay, so by then,
So
let me
meanwhile,
also, yeah,
anyone
meanwhile, I
else if
can,
they want to.
yes. So anybody else want to tell me how your problem is looking today? How do you think your problem is shaped up? Is it like a virus? Is it like a bacteria? How do you think your problems are today? By the time Dr. Arun is typing his problems, I mean his inputs there in the chat box, I would request people also to think over and tell me how's your problem.
I'm
What is the
sure
shape
some
your
of
problem?
you definitely have something to say. Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Mohan Kumar.
Yes, Mohan sir. Go ahead.
Subhashri, please unmute Mr. Mohan.
Yes, done. You have to.
Yes.
Yes.
I hope
All
I'm
right.
audible. I'm Mohan
You're
from
audible.
Apollo Hospital.
Yeah.
So I take care of two different departments right now, human resource as well as operations, because both works on one. So as you rightly said about the problems, and yeah, as you given the example of amoeba, so it's a sizeless and also shapeless. As you rightly said, the mindset is one of the important thing, which is very important aspect, not even terms of us, also in terms of others whom we deal with, where we can see the problems, as well as if we find that the skill set is also been implemented as a tool, so we will be able to achieve the solution or the technique for the solution for the problem
Exactly.
what we face, is what I understand
Yes, sir.
right now.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. As you rightly said, again, the mindsets of people matters. And most of the time, we have seen that people in the healthcare professionals are always solution centric. They want a solution, they don't run away. Yes, there is a problem, we understand, and problems comes in all shapes and size, but then we are looking into a solution. That spirit of bringing a solution is seen very evidently. However, today we will learn certain skill sets that can be incorporated to make things more better, to streamline things. Now I can see the message of Dr. Arun and Ravi Kumar. Arun sir says that the problem is like a cloud. Just wanted to add one more issue of staff aspirations in today's challenges. Absolutely, sir. It's like a cloud. Sometimes it's a cloud burst leading to dissonance, not resonance. And yes, again, people's aspiration to do the best, but their hands are tied due to certain other aspects. It might be the processes, it might be the cost effectiveness or cost perspective, which is related to the decision making in the leadership teams, right? Not proper decisions taken, and sometimes internal power and politics. All these could be some of the problems, some of the challenges. Ravi Kumar says problems are of different shapes. Instead of shapes, it looks like calculus formulas every day to be solved. Absolutely. So, absolutely, you're all right. You are looking into that problem and you're understanding how difficult the problems are. But today, let me tell you, when you get a problem, why did I ask you this question? To tell you that when you get a problem, when you see a problem, okay, consider the problem as a challenges. Consider that it is a assignment given out to understand, assimilate, and then come up with some kind of solution which would be used in future. Because when we refer to the concept of lean management, total quality management, according to the philosophy of lean, they always say that problems should not be considered as problems. On the other hand, problems should be considered as challenges. This is another opportunity for us to learn. This is another opportunity for us to equip with new tools and techniques. This is another opportunity for us to deal with a crisis, and this is equivalent to disaster management. Okay, so again, the mindset should be let the problems come in any shape, any size. Let it be a virus, bacteria, let it be in the form of a mountain or a molehill, but I want to consider this as a challenge. Now, how do I resolve this issue? That is what we are going to learn today. So request Ajita to share the PowerPoint. Now, let me tell you, please go back and write in your book. When you look into the problem, what are the things that you have to write? So please say current state, ideal state. Okay, when you look into the problem, let the problem remain there. As everybody mentioned, problem comes in different shapes and sizes. Let the problem be there, but from today onwards we will consider this problem as a challenge. And when I'm considering this problem as a challenge, what are the things that I have to keep in mind? I have to keep in mind two things. One is current state and an ideal state. How do you think the problem is looking today at the moment in the current state? And what is that I want to see for myself in the future state? Ideally, how do I resolve this issue in future? Ideally, how do I look into a solution for this problem? Go back to your formula sheet. The first formula which I gave you was mindset is equal to skill set and tool set, right? Now I'm giving you the second formula which says current state, ideal state. Put two blocks. This is a current state and this is an ideal state. And between is the gap analysis. The gap analysis will be taken care by all of us today using the 3M. So this is a current state. Okay, the current state is, okay, the problem in the organization with regards to the infrastructure. Problem is regard to the mindsets of people. Problem is with respect to the absenteeism of the workforce. Problem is in terms of attrition in the organization. Ideally, as a professional, what am I looking for? Ideally, I'm looking for a solution centricity. Ideally, I'm looking for some change, innovation, creativity, newness, novelty in the processes, people, and products. Okay, so keep this as a second formula. I'm sure you're understanding what I say. I'll put it there. Current state and the ideal or the future state. And in between this current state and the future state, in between this, I am finding the gap. This is where we do the gap analysis. This is the second formula I have given you. Current state, ideal state, or the future state. In between these two blocks is the gap. And let us do a gap analysis. Okay, so problems are inevitable. Problems should be accepted. We cannot run away from problems. The reality, the stark reality is this zone is going to be a problem prone area. So one of the skill set which we have to build is prosilience. Now, what is this prosilience? Prosilience is nothing but problem solving skills and resilience. Just put it there. This is a very new terminology, prosilience. And for a healthcare sector professional, definitely you need to have a huge bundle of prosilience, problem solving skills plus resilience. Problems are inevitable. Problems come in all shapes and sizes. We are ready to accept problems. We cannot run away from problems. And we consider problems as challenges. And we believe that the current state of the problem is this, and ideally we are looking for some changes out there over a period of time, and in between the current state and the future state or the ideal state is the gap where we do the gap analysis. So we say that as healthcare professionals, first and the foremost skill set is the prosilience, building prosilience mindset, problem solving skills plus resilience. Am I clear, friends? Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Is there any query? Is there any thought process? Is there anything that you want to share across? Okay. The first step what we have done is just have taken the problem. And secondly, we have accepted that in the area where we are working, problems are inevitable. And thank you, Pramada. Thank you so much for that response. And we believe that problems come in all shapes and sizes. But we said, current state of the problem is this. I'm looking into an ideal state of problem, and in between there is a gap. And this is where I'm going to use certain tools and techniques to analyze the problem and come up with some solutions. Okay, so request you to move on to the next slide, please. Yes. So we look into what? We look into resolving and making healthcare more affordable to our patients and create a patient-centric approach, which we are already doing it, no doubt. However, our interest being here cost reduction without compromising the quality of product and services, without compromising on any of these aspects of professionalism. We want to bring the best, right? Now I'm introducing you to the concept of 3M. Request you to move on to the next slide, please. Exactly. Before we move on to 3M, what are the things that we are going to focus today in this on this particular platform? Okay, so one would be the patient-centric approach. Problems are seen there very evidently. Second, the processes. There's always a crisscross in processes. It could be change in technology, it could be techno stress, it could be untrained people, it could be attrition, it could be absenteeism, it could be very slow processes, it could be time consuming processes. Then not taking a right data driven decision making in the leadership team. Then people involvement, the teamwork, group dynamics. Then there is something called as continuous improvement. That's a new concept which you will learn today. This continuous improvement is something called as Kaizen. I'll take you through that later on. Don't worry. Okay. But let us bring a mindset of no full stop but comma. What next? Okay, the processes have improved. The infrastructure has improved. The technology is improved. Our TAT, turnaround time. Please make a note of this word, TAT. T-A-T, turnaround time has improved with the customers, with the patients have improved. Correct. So that's a continuous improvement. Then discover the root causes. This is something very important. Problems that you see explicitly are not the original problems. The problems lie deeper. This is exactly what total quality management talks about. Okay, so how do we address the root cause? Do we have certain tools? I will definitely discuss all these aspects of how to bring in the concept of root cause analysis, then develop solution, make trials and improve the goals and document. Okay, so today we are focusing on all this perspective in this 10 to 1 o'clock session. Okay, we will talk about how to build a better patient centricity approach, how to work on process management, how to bring in data-driven decision-making processes in the leadership team, how to ensure that people involved in day-to-day transactions, day-to-day dealing. How do we believe in the concept of continuous improvement or Kaizen? How do we discover root causes? The problems which you see explicitly are not the original problems. How do we delve deeper? How do we develop solution? How do we make trial and errors and make a documentation of the entire process? Now, please move on to the next slide. Yes. This is the hitch, the triangulation. These are the 3 P's that should be taken care of if you are looking for cost differentiation, cost leadership factor. Number one, people, when I said people, definitely the mindsets have to change. Bring in a culture of learning, incorporate more of training and development, incorporate learning, relearning, unlearning. Make them understand that if you do not open your minds for learning, you will end up becoming dinosaurs, fossils, right? So we have to become cockroaches, creepy crawly, adapting, adjusting, being agile, and being curious for new techniques, for new processes, for new learning, because problems are coming in different shapes and sizes. Correct? Then the processes. How do we iterate the processes? Do we have any set standardized processes? Yes, there are, which I'm going to discuss today. And third, iteration in the products and services. Okay, because it is a world which believes in innovation or it is evaporate. If you don't innovate, you will evaporate. Why do you think the leading organizations in the world are benchmarking their products and services? Because they iterate their products and services. There's nothing called as a stale food. They become obsolete. You need to bring something new to the table. That's how the changing times are. No matter whether it is a pandemic or no matter it's a world war, no matter it is a economic meltdown, no matter the economy is changing, no matter retrenchments, layoff, downsizing, right sizing, whatever changes are happening in the world over, at the end of the day, your organization believes in ROI, ROP, ROC, return on investment, return on cost, or return on customer, return on products. The show must go on. Please understand. The show must go on. Don't tell me that it's a pandemic time, so we don't have the resources. Sorry. Pandemic or world war, whatever, the show must go on. All right, so this is the triangulation. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Exactly. This is the heart of my presentation today. This is the heart of the learning. This is the tool. So I'm introducing you to the 3M. Now I'll tell you what is this 3M. Of course, it is all given there on my slide, but let me give you a background on this 3M concept and how am I connecting it to all the triangulation of products, people, and the processes. And at the same time, how are we reducing the cost? How are we controlling the waste, basically? Okay, how are we controlling the non-value added activities in the organization so that we have some return on investment, so that we make money, we save money, we control costs. Now, friends, let us give credit to Japan for all these philosophies. Japan, 1/4 size of India. Hiroshima and Nagasaki was completely destroyed in 1946, you know better than me, by Americans, right? Completely destroyed. And the natural calamity. What was the natural calamity? Tsunami and earthquake. All the time they have this natural calamity. In spite of the man-made calamity and natural calamity, Japan is a leading name in total quality management, TQM. Nobody can beat them. Come on, let us give credit to Japan at the moment, because these philosophies are picked from Japan, and world over, all the leading and strong organizations, successful organizations, are implementing it, integrating it, practicing it as a best practice. They're breathing in and out. Quality. Quality is everything at the end of the day. Correct? So, when I say Japan, 1/4 size of India, with man-made calamity and natural calamity, are a leading name in the quality TQM. Why is it so? Because if you remember, they are the leading in the quality circle that was created way back by Deming, Edward Juran and Deming. Plan, do, check and act. The first quality cycle which the world saw came from Japan. And from there on, there is no turning back. All the philosophies of quality have triggered, initiated, stemmed, mushroomed, have progressed, have just started off. There's no turning back. And they are doing extremely well. When you talk about quality, the synonymous name is Toyota. Toyota. Correct? So out of all that lean philosophy, I've just picked for today's session. There's plenty of things. It's an ocean. Okay. I have picked only the 3M for all of you. And I'm going to tell you how this 3M can be used on the the triangulation which we discussed, the three category: people, processes, products. This will help us to save money. This will help us for cost cutting. This will help in bringing cost leadership. Okay, so what are these three things? Now, let me start with the Mura perspective, the first year. Mura means unevenness, variation. Okay, so Mura also means, see, they are called as the three enemies of lean management. So Mura also means unevenness in customer demand, in process times, in variation in cycle times, like the TAT, which I mentioned. Mura can be also, some bottlenecks in the process, obstacles in the process, issues in the process, problems in the process, challenges in the process. I have a lot of case studies which I will be taking you through, but let me give you a clear-cut understanding of what all the three components means. So Mura, M-U-R-A, Mura means unevenness, problems, issues, ups and downs. So you can very well understand it's not a smooth cakewalk. It's more of a frilly perspective. Lot of issues, lot of changes, lot of problems. So we say that Mura means unevenness. So this unevenness can be anywhere. It can be in a customer demand. It can be in the processes. It can be in the minds of people. It can be even lack of skill sets, unevenness in skill sets. Number one. Number two, Muri, overburden. Oh, wow, look at that word, overburden. So what is overburden? Overburden is breakdown in machinery, or absenteeism amongst people, or overburden amongst people. We cannot take it, as Pramada was rightly mentioning. Every day problems come in different shapes, ma'am. It's one day it's like a bacteria, another day it's like a virus, and third day it looks like an alien. So there's a complete chaos and confusion out here. So there's so much of not just burden, overburden, multiple things given to people. There is a confusion in my role. My job description said something, but I'm doing something here. When somebody else is not there, I'm doing that person's task also. And there's so much of confusion out here. I'm demotivated. I'm not able to complete this process because I'm not sure as to what the other person was doing. There is a lacuna, there is a loophole, there is some kind of vacuum there. And somebody just thrusted me, pushed me to take up that particular task also. So there is an overburden, Muri. And this is leading to wastage of money. This is leading to wastage of process. And this is leading to a lot of problems, a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, a lot of things in the processes. Third Muda is 8 waste. I'll tell you what are the three, all the 8 wastes. Can we move to the next slide, please? Fantastic. Now, before I talk about the 8 ways, The philosophy on the lean says, see, we visualize normality, but let us also visualize abnormality. This is the next formula you should be jotting down in your book. Visualize normality, but identify abnormality. I'll tell you what. We said problems are inevitable. We said problems come in all shapes and size. Correct? So what have we done? We have already identified abnormalities. We know that this is how the process has to flow. We know that this is how transactions has to happen. We know that this is how the compass needle has to move from A to Z. But we also are mentally prepared for any kind of eventualities, any kind of crisis, any kind of issues, any kind of challenges, any kind of disasters. Now, did we ever think that a cough and a cold would lead us to death? Did we ever think that somebody ate a cat, rat, bat in China at some point in time? And we never thought that India as a country, we are known for Ayurveda and yoga. We don't think we will have COVID, but COVID uncle reported to every home front. COVID approached to every home front. Correct? COVID reached out to everybody. Correct. So what am I saying? I'm trying to tell you that now, please be ready for any kind of abnormalities. Please be ready for any kind of crisis. Every morning when you wake up and report to your offices, when you report to your workstations, be ready for anything. Don't just say that this is how things are. This is how the compass needle is going to move. No. Okay. So when you look at that mindset of coming into your workstation and looking around for anything, it could be a challenge, it could be a newer problem, it could be a newer issue, it could be a novel approach, it could be a new process, it could be a new technology, it could be a new boss, it could be a merger and acquisition. Anything can be possible. So visualize normality, but identify abnormality is the next formula which you have to be jotting down. Request you to go to the next slide, which is a case. I'm taking you through a case, and I'm trying to tell you how Mura, Muri, and Muda, all the three are being used in the health sector. So this is just a case for your understanding. Mura, as I mentioned to you, is unevenness. Unevenness means strain, frill, issues. It's more like a peppered, flavored, designed setup. Very uneven, opposite to smooth sailing, opposite to a cakewalk. So Mura is the waste associated with variation in workloads. And here, this example is picked from a lab. Samples delivered and analyzed in large batches impedes continuous flow. Lab workloads are volatile and are characterized by peaks and troughs. Imbalanced workloads negatively impact productivity and reduce lead time performance. Balancing the workload is an essential aspect of lean implementation to create a continuous flow rate. This can be achieved by leveling incoming samples by implementing a queue system at the start of the process with gradual release of samples to the lab. In biopharma, the sample flow rate is determined by production. Lean manufacturing is necessary to alleviate Mura. However, it is dependent on sample stability. So this is just an example picked from a lab. How to ensure that you take care of the lead time performance. Please make a note of that word. Lead time performance is nothing but your TAT, turnaround time. I think I put there turnaround time. Exactly, turnaround time. That's your lead time performance, because you need to be very, very cautious of the time factor, right? And you cannot be wasting your time due to some processes which are muddled up, which are crisscrossed, which are not even, and there's a lot of wastage of time happening there. So take care of ensuring that you introduced Mura. You have an exercise also here. Gradually, you will take up that exercise, and I will tell you how to use Mura. How to identify Mura and elevate it. How do you identify Mura and eliminate it? Let's go to the next case. Case 2 is for the Muri. Muri is what? Overburden. Oh my God. We always give an example of donkey, right? I'm working like donkey. You would have heard people say. This is a very sad metaphor here. Why are we always projecting donkey and saying that, yeah, the Dobie puts all the clothes on the back of the donkey and the donkey has to bear the brunt of it? So this word donkey has become a common word in our terminology. We always say that, oh, you know what, I work like a donkey. Overburdened. Overburdened perspective leads to boredom and fatigue. You know, fatigue is a terminology associated with mental blockage. Mental blockage. You can't think straight. You can't analyze an issue. You can't think about a solution. You become frustrated. There's no clarity in your cognitions because of overburden. You're doing X's job, Y's job, Z's job. You're not sure what you're doing. There's so much of muddled up feeling every morning when you report to your desk. You're not sure as to how to start, how to begin. And as a result, the whole thing is getting into the wrong direction, going haywire. Muri is the overloading of people or equipment. Muri is often directly caused by unevenness mura. So mura is leading to muri. Everything is interdependent, interrelated, interconnected. Right? When you go back to the example of the same lab, you know, when lab analysts are overloaded by peaks in the workload, muri can be alleviated. How? By effective resource schedule leveling, the workload to meet demand. Not easy, but I'll take you through the process. Initially, I'm showing you how muri is seen in the labs healthcare sector. But then I'm going to give you the solution also. I'm going to give you the formulas to ease out, identify mura, eliminate mura, identify muri, eliminate muri, identify the muda, the 8 chock-a-block suffocating the system and get it removed. So have you seen if the drainage gets blocked, there is some chemical that is dropped inside this particular drainage so that the entire thing, the chemical acts on it and the whole, dust or dirt or the scum gets washed away. Similarly, today, whatever is choking us, we will ensure that the chock-a-block is removed. Okay, let's move to the third case. Okay, this is the mudha, which I mentioned. The 8 wastes. Mura, muri, mudha. Mura, unevenness. Muri, overburden. Donkey example. Mudha, 8 wastes. What are the 8 wastes you generally find, just not in health sector, but in any industry, any sector, any organization, any setup, any system? Number 1, transportation. Movement of materials, maybe from the warehouses to the customer's place, or from the production units, or even from hospitals, from one place to another place. Inventory, second one. Use of space and funds to hold inventories of material. Third, motion, movement of people. Okay, I'm sure you can connect all this to your, hospitals, healthcare, dormitories. And I'm going to ask you for examples once I finish this particular slide. Waiting, queuing or scheduling. Next, overproduction. Producing more than necessary. In lab terms, this could be media, buffer or other reagents. Overprocessing, excess works or checks in process. Defects, work samples that needs correcting or repeating. Skills, unused talent or potential. Now, friends, I want your help. Now, without your help, I cannot move out of this 8 ways. Now, let me give you a quick recap. I was, yes, I'm seeing the slide, Ajita, very much. We are in sync. Akhil sir says slides to be changed. Maybe his net.
I was asking Akhil sir only whether he's seeing the same slide.
Because his net is slow, maybe, whatever. Right? No problem. So the point is, friends, please understand. Let me give you a quick recap on what we were doing. We initially said that problems are inevitable. And we also had a beautiful formula which said the change has to happen within us. Mindset is equal to skill set plus tool set. And then we moved on to the problems and we said current state of the problem, ideal state of the problem, and there is a gap. And the gap analysis is done through the lean philosophy of the 3M only. A lot of things, but we have picked only 3M today to tell us how the cost leadership can be achieved. Is it all clear? Is it understood? Are you all in sync with me? Give me some thumbs up in the chat box. Yes. Okay. I'm not finding any answer. I don't know. Is there any confusion? Would you like to talk? Apart from Pramada, nobody has spoken to me. Anything that you want to put it across, please? Yes, no.
I think we'll allot 5 minutes for them to open up. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe you can all open or switch on your cameras also. Let's have a face-to-face interaction. We will also have a chance to see you all. I request those are all comfortable. Please switch on your cameras. Hi, Abdul Rahman. Hello, Arun sir. You can see Kim's health. Sorry, we didn't get your name. Himanshu.
Superb.
Himanshu, we are not able to see your face. I think we can see your car steering. I think so. Hi, Akhil. Biomedical Emmet Sarjapur. Your name? You can just text your name. Is that Akhil? No. Again, Kim's health. We can see three of them. But Deepika, hi. We're not getting your name. Hi, 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 everyone. Sorry, I have not kept my camera on. I'm sorry for that. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
All of you, please. We have so many people.
Yeah, so many people.
41 people have enrolled. So please switch on your camera. It's a very nice feel good factor for all of us as organizers. That so many people have acknowledged our invitation and they participated and showing so much of interest. And only request is please be interactive, open up. I know you people have, enough experience to open up and talk. Come on, you're all leaders. You handle team, you manage people. I think you should open up and talk. And it's again sharing knowledge and information. And we have people of, overseas people who are participating. I think it's another great opportunity for us to understand how it works exactly abroad, in GCC. Do you all have the same issues what we face in India also? I was with Aster for some time. I was working with Aster. So I have interacted with some of our colleagues in Aster Dubai and other units. But there are many people, it will be a great opportunity for them to know whether you all have the same problem in Dubai or Bahrain and other places as well. Can you please, some of you can share your experience. We just have 5 minutes, sir. We can't afford to have too much of time.
Yeah.
Anyone from GCC want to say something? Yeah. Kim's health. Please unmute yourself and I can speak. You're not able to unmute?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Himanshu.
Yeah, actually, so far what Madam explained, it is really practically we are facing the such problem, and it is giving. Even though I am basically from accounts and finance, even though we know the cost cutting, but the real root cause and how it is the problem are coming, it is giving more mm, operational experience which will be help our work to do more effective and how we can change our mindset. Actually, it is very good session so far. and more interesting also. Uh, from my side, this much I understand till now.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Himanshu sir.
Thank you.
So Subhashri is saying to press space bar in your keyboard to unmute yourself. Not working. Subhashri, it's not working.
Hi, ma'am. Again, it's me only, Pramada.
Ramadan.
Ma'am, I've attended loads of sections on different topics. In this particular session, I must tell this one. See, we doesn't want to break anything. We just want to continue through you because we are not getting bored and we are getting what the actual summary of the topic is in every session from starting up to now.
Okay. Thank you. That is
Congratulations to you, ma'am.
great.
That's a very great, it's a lovely feedback, Pramada.
And I'm happy, like such a event, it is organized by MedLern. It is going very well. And in every session, if you see, ma'am, you have attended, you have presented, will get bored fast. Like if they will be telling something, meanwhile we will type something, we will listen to something, we will see here. From morning from 10 up to now, I didn't go through my office works. I'm concentrating on this. Usually, I used to do multiple works in between. But
Okay.
I'm inspired by you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
That's lovely. So nice of you, Pramada. And I hope all of you are having the same experience. And we were actually bit skeptical about the duration because it was a virtual, and virtual generally we restrict to maximum 2 hours. But ma'am said in 2 hours, she may be missing out lots of important points. She may not be able to cover in 2 hours. So we took the risk and we have kept it for 3 hours. And we are happy that we have already halfway through, and we are just another 1.5 an hour to go. And I'm sure she will make it more. I think it's becoming more serious now. She's
Yes.
getting into the major aspect of it, the important aspect of the topic from now on. So that's why
Sure.
we intentionally took this break. I'm so sorry that Kim's health team is unable to unmute. Maybe you can just text. We are so sorry. We'll connect with you, but please text
Can
your
you
view
just
points. Sorry,
sorry to cut you,
Shubhashri.
Ajita.
Sorry.
So can you just close the chat and try to press the unmute button?
Can you try now? Oh yeah, I think some of them are having some
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. I'm not
Even
sure.
Dr. Arun Rastogi sir also had the same problem.
Morning,
No,
madam.
ma'am, regarding Kim's health, I can summarize them because I am also part of Kim's. No issues.
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
Okay,
do that.
but Kim,
okay.
but they, all three of them, I think they wanted to say something. I request you to please type in the chat box. We can read it out to others can see, and what is there in your mind.
Good morning,
Is
madam.
that you, Deepika? Is that you from? No. Okay. Hi, somebody said good morning. Who is that?
Myself, Abdul Rahman.
Abdul Rahman. Yes. Hi, Abdul.
Uh, Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I think it was a nice overview. I work at Shanti Hospital, Omashiri, Calicut. It's a peripheral hospital. We're not located in the city, and yeah, over time we've been able to have quite a lot of super specialty services, starting from a gynec hospital. During this COVID season, as an administrator, one of the problems we faced was acute workload and at the same time staff attrition, things like that. And most of the time I used to spend with staffs, just listening to them and, letting them, cry over and finish off their work, but we're just helpless. This concept of Mura, Muri and Muda is something that, it is something which you can use to objectivize what you have in front of you.
True.
I'm very thankful to you for, bring up this concept. Yeah, looking forward to further concepts as well.
Thank you.
Nice to hear from you, Abdul. Anyone else? I think they had lots to say. I'm feeling so bad that we're not able to hear to you. So she has put her message here. Let's read it out. Oh, that's quite a bit. The cost optimization is not only for the for KIMS or GCC only. Right now, all places are all sectors suffer from the same thing. As an HR, I think this session is very helpful to put things in perspective and understand what are the steps forward. Absolutely. Thank you for giving it this message, and I'm sure ma'am will take care of the issues, and she will definitely give a solution which is practical and which can be applicable on your day-to-day job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Thank you so much, Kim's health team. Okay, now I think we will get back to session.
Yes.
Thanks. Subhashri, you want to continue to share your screen? Or can I request Richa otherwise?
Yes, yes. Richa can share.
Richa, can you share? I had shared the PPT to you. Richa, are you there? Okay, Shubhashri, just continue. I will just talk to her parallelly. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Ajita, for the beautiful connection and collaboration with the team to make sure that we are in sync with what is being discussed. Because, as you rightly said, one second here, without knowing what's happening in the other side, on the other side of the fence, it becomes very difficult for me. And believe me, if this was an offline session, I think this would have been more productive and a lot of fun and learning. Anyway, but thank you so much. Without your cooperation, I don't think this can become a successful event. Okay, so coming back to the 3M, which we discussed. So I said the first being Mura, Muri, and Muda. So we spoke about both overburden and unevenness, right? And then now we move on to what is called the 8 ways, which are a byproduct of Mudha, MUDA, Mudha. Transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing. Defect skills is the recent one added. Initially, it was only 7. It is also called as TIMUD, acronym called as TIMUD, TIMWOOD. Now, S is also being added, so TIMUDS. They say downtime also, acronym being used there. So, if you can see that, every single aspect of non-value added waste, be it in transportation, be it in inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects and skills. If you address the 8 waste itself can, of course, ensure that the cost reduction or the cost leadership can be achieved. Right? Now, let's just pick one of the example. My favorite example out of the Tim Woods is, yes, skills, unused talent or potential. Sometimes what happens, monotony breeds boredom and fatigue. We are so much used to, what people say, we've been working in this industry for 24 years, 25 years, and we know how the processes runs. So what is the need for us to change? There's no need for iteration. Things are fine. There's no need for updating. There's no need for reskilling the workforce. This is what is called as one of the most solid biases seen in the leadership team, biases seen amongst the people, biases seen in the processes. People don't want to change. They don't want to harp and play around on the skills of people because there is unused talent. We don't want to leverage it. As a result, this biases stops, it becomes a huge, big time bottleneck. Right. And we don't believe in, training people. We don't believe in upskilling people. We don't want to, because we go back and rely on the 20 years of experience, what we carry and see, what this hospital is running for 20 years and we know what is what. Now, what is the need for us to tweak, change, bring a new technology? No need. Everything is fine. You would have heard many a times, many people, especially in the decision-making team, leadership teams, making this kind of dangerous statement, which leads to one of the major obstacle in the processes. So look at each, category, be it transportation, be it inventory. Be it the movement of people, how you see people using wrong processes, wasting time, or they are given multiple things to play around, they're overburdened, or sometimes waiting, queuing, scheduled delays, overproduction, or sometimes overprocessing, or sometimes defects, all this. So if you revisit the 3M, the first one we said, the Mura, unevenness, maybe amongst the people, processes, or the product. Then the Muri, overburdenedness. Then Muda, the 8 ways. Now, I can talk for each ways for 3 to 4 hours, but that's not the intention. This is just an awareness to tell you that if you look into each and every category of the 8 ways pertaining to Muda, half the battle is won. Correct. Let's move on to the next slide, please. And then let us look into the realistic, real-time case studies. Please move on to the next slide. Subhashri, can you change the slide, please?
Yes, I have changed
Yes,
it.
yes, yeah, yes. So now it's a simple exercise, okay? Count the number of small e and the capital E in each of these lines. Okay, there are 8 lines given. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, and line 8. Each line has capital E or small e. I want you to count and tell me the numbers. You can put the numbers in the chat box. Let us see whether we are all aligned in the same process or not. Please put it in the chat box. How many E's do you find in each line? Or you can add up the entire line. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 8. Add up all that and tell me the numbers. Just put it in the chat box. Yeah. Unable to see the screen, says Abdul. Okay. 25 says Alston. Let's see others. Let's wait for the others' answers too. What are the others saying? Alston is saying 25. What about others? Please put your numbers there. How many E's have you counted together? 22 capital, 26, okay. 26 small letters. Abdul, okay. Abdul, I'm sure you can see the screen now. Okay. 29 says Ashwini, Rosario. Ravi Kumar says 22, 28. Okay. 26. 32 says Himanshu. Okay, great. Dr. Preeta Prasad says 28. 30. Akhil Jacob, 30. Okay. All right. Great. So the objective of this exercise was to tell you that each one of us identify errors in different numbers. So for some of them it's 28, for some of them it's 26, for some of them it was 29, 30, 27, but the accurate was 27. Kim's health has identified the right answer, 27. No problem. It's nothing to do with right or wrong answers. But the intention of this exercise was to tell you that what you see is not what you get. Sometimes I have spotted an error in the processes. For me, it is a big thing, but for somebody else, it might not be a big thing. One man's food is another man's poison. Yeah, Devdantu. Thank you, Devtanu. Mohan Kumar sir, thank you for contributing. Yeah, the intention of this exercise was just to tell you that all of us see errors, obstacles, bottlenecks in different shapes and sizes. What you see is not what you get. Can we move on to the next slide? The intention was to tell you that each one of us visualize errors, mistakes, problems in different perspective. Okay, so what you see is not what you get. One man's food is another man's poison. For somebody, the problem lies with the people. For someone else, the problem would be with the leadership team. For somebody else, it would be all in the economy. For somebody else, it would be because of pandemic. So everybody has a different perspective. Okay, the right thing is something else, but all of us carry our own perspectives. No problem. Meaning, errors are there, problems are there, issues are there, but we are visualizing it in different dimensions, in different perspectives, different thinking patterns, etc. Now, let us analyze few scenarios. The first scenario is picked from the healthcare based on the research. The research of 2022 said that cyber security and ransomware attacks have led to the breaching of patient health information, thus leading to violating or violating of compliance standards. So what is happening here is when you capture the patient information, Abdul says still unable to see the PowerPoint. I think there's some problem at your end, Abdul. Maybe the net is little slow, internet is slow. That's the reason you are not able to see. You might take some time. Maybe you log out and log in. That's only you can leave the meeting.
Log out and log in, Abdul.
That could be better. Yeah.
Others are able to see, right? Just give me a thumbs up, please. I think others are able to see otherwise.
Okay. So what has happened here is, according to the research, it is proven that this issue has been creating a lot of problems to the patients, because you would see that the important confidential data that is secured on the patient portal is ransacked because of some kind of malware or the virus or cybersecurity issues. Now, this has also led to what is called as violating of compliance standard. Any patient can pull you to a court if he or she notices that his data has been not under the wraps of safety. Right? This has become one of the common issue. Now, if this is the issue, how do you think you can minimize or eliminate MUDA? So what is MUDA? MUDA is unevenness, right? MUDA is variation. MUDA is a problem zone, correct? Now, how can we find MUDA here? How do we stop these obstacles in the flow of process? So can we start and plot? I've just given you the scenario. Let us assume that in one of the hospitals, you have noticed that there is a complaints issue. There is a violation of the patient data, and some patients have send you some kind of warning mail saying that if this continues, then they will be forced to sue you in the court of law, and this is definitely threatening. So how do you ensure that the prevention is better than cure? That is my point. How do you ensure that you don't become a victim to the ransomware attacks? What do you do? How do you remove this obstacle? How do you free this bottleneck? How can we spot? So I would want you to look into what I'm showing you the process. I'm showing you the process, which is very nicely captured on this particular page. So they say, first and foremost, clarify the problem. That's the step one. If I ask you to start and plot, first is, can you see this diagram? Yeah, first is clarify the problem. What is the problem? Okay, first one, clarify the problem. So if the problem is some patients have identified that the data is moving around due to some ransom attack, and this is causing a lot of insecurity. If that's a problem, first identify the problem. So the first step always is Clarify the problem. Be specific about the problem. I told you in the beginning, the problems which you see on the surface area is not a problem. The problem lies down. So how to identify that problem? How to clarify the problem? I said clarify the problem, but how can I clarify the problem? So what I would do basically is I would brainstorm with my team. I'm putting all the inputs there. I might brainstorm with my team. I might do what is called as mind mapping. Please take down all this tools. I might mind map with my team. I might brainstorm with my team. I want to specifically identify what is the problem. From where is this problem arising? I might do what is called as root cause analysis. Root cause analysis. I'm not giving you more than this 3 tools to start and plot. Okay, sorry, I've written root cause analysis. Now, what is this root cause analysis? Root cause analysis is a simple fishbone theory. This is also called as a fishbone theory. Whatever tools I am mentioning at this moment, please make a note, research, and you will find that you will understand how to use this. Now, I'll give you an example. We said that there is a problem here with regards to the patient portals. There is a problem with cybersecurity issue. There's a problem with a groupware or a malware. And this has led to a non-compliance in the department, HR related issue. Now, the moment I get to know as an HR, I call my team and sit together and brainstorm, right? I mind map because I want to find out, I want to be very clear about what is the problem. Because as I told you, the previous exercise showed that each one of us are perceiving problem in different dimension. One of them said 26, some of them said 30, somebody said 27, somebody said some numbers, right? All of us are looking problems into different dimensions. Is it clear? I showed you the previous exercise to connect with the first scenario. All of us have different shapes and sizes of the problem. When I said please count capital E and smaller e, each one of us had different numbers. Some of them said 30, some of them said 27, some of them said 22. Each one of us have different number. So now same thing holds good here. I don't know what is the problem. Okay, I know that there's a problem with regards to the patient portal, and I know that there is a non-compliance, which is a major issue for the hospital, for my organization, for my industry. Now, I have to identify this problem and resolve this problem. Otherwise, it is leading to a lot of fines, it's leading to a lot of funds, it's leading to a lot of money issue, it is leading to a lot of penalty issue, and my organization is going to be in deeper trouble. What do I do? So what am I doing? How am I using this, identifying this muda, unevenness? How am I identifying and eliminating this muda? How am I starting and plotting? First step, what I did was to brainstorm. First step, what I did was to mind map. These two are two different tools again. Brainstorm is I sit in my boardroom and talk to my people. Instantly, whatever comes to your mind, please don't do a deeper analysis, but come up with why this problem, what is the problem, where is the problem, who are these problem creators, from where did the problem trigger? That is brainstorm. Then what is mind map? Revisit your Google image and you will find a beautiful picture of mind map. Mind map is when you have the crux of the problem in between, and then you have a lot of branches which talks about, okay, the problem is this, but there are a lot of, just write this and show you immediately how a mind map looks. Okay, this can be a mind map. This can be a mind map. The crux of this problem is here, and all the branches tells you because of all this causes the problems have occurred. Okay, so I can mind map. This is called as mind map. Mind map was introduced by Tony Buzan, and there are a lot of workshops in the world where people conduct mind map to generate solution, to identify where is the problem area. Please understand, this is just to identify the problem area, that's all. Okay, so one is
Can
brain.
you just bring it a little more to the camera?
Yeah, I showed.
Away?
Yeah, I think I showed.
Yeah. Just 1 second, I'll take a screenshot.
Yeah, I'll 1 second. Then I'll write 1 second. I'll write a mind map. I'll just say the name. So mind map, the crux, the crux or the center region. This is the problem area, and all these branches denote the causes. Fine? Yeah. So one is brainstorm. Second was, second was the mind map. You can do a mind map in the boardroom to understand where exactly is the problem. See, you have a tool in place. You need not just listen to people's argument, disagreement, biased statements. Okay, you need not worry about any of such, unrealistic or meaningless conversations. You can use this tool. You can say, yeah, one of us can mind map this problem and identify what are the causes. Let us brainstorm the causes. So let us clearly be, specific about the problem. Let us identify the problem. So there is no confusion about 27, 26, 30, E and...
Ma'am, sorry.
Yeah.
I think someone has raised their hand from
Oh,
Kim's
yes,
Health.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You have anything to say or message from Kim's Health? I can see your hands raised.
Superb.
Kim's Health. Do you have anything to say? You can, or if you're not able to say, you can put it in the chat box.
It was earlier.
It was earlier. Can you just say nothing, or can we just
we'll continue? We're waiting for your communication. Kim's Health. I hope it's nothing. It was accidental hand being raised. Error?
Nothing for now. All right.
Yes. Super. Thank you. So please let us revisit that case. I've just shown you a problem. The problem is with the patient portal. The problem is non-compliance, and it is an emergency issue because yes, your company will be, your organization, your hospital will be into deeper trouble. Yeah, you have to pay penalty to the court if you are not in sync with the complaints, right? So now what? You have to eliminate this muda, unevenness. So what are you doing? You will call for a quick meeting in your boardroom. You brainstorm, number one. If you can't brainstorm, you want to use more powerful tool, it can be a mind map. Okay, you can revisit all these tools once the session is done. Go back to the Google image and see how mind map is used to resolve problems, to identify the root causes of the problem, grassroots levels, at the grassroots levels. Number two. Number three, which I mentioned, was RCA, root cause analysis. Root cause analysis is also called as a fishbone theory. So how do you think it looks? It just looks like a head of a fish and the body of the fish with the spikes. So this is the problem area. I'll show you the picture. 1 second. I'm just writing here. So now this is a RCA, root cause analysis. The head of the fish and the spikes all over the body. It's just like a bone, the fish bone, hence the term fish bone. So this is also called as a fishbone theory, RCA, or Dr. Ishikawa's diagram. So the head of the fish represents the problem area. It's the problem area, and the spike shows the cause and effect. Every spike shows the cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. So in a boardroom, if you use these tools like the mind mapping technique or the fishbone or a simple brainstorm, two heads are better than one head, right? At one point in time, people said too many cooks spoil the broth when you have too many people putting their head into a problem. Because it's very unrealistic. It's all judgmental, like how we did the previous exercise, and some of us said 30, some of them said 29, some of them said 27, some of them said 22. So where exactly is the problem? What is an exact number? There's a confusion. So now I know that this is the problem area. And I also know that there is a tool which I can use to understand the bottlenecks so that I can eliminate the mudha or the mura. Right? So what I do, I use either a fishbone or I use a mind map, or I simply brainstorm and come to a conclusion and understand what exactly is the problem. So first step is the problem, right? Then I break down the problem. See, that is again the step which I will talk to you when I take the most concrete aspect of Kaizen. Don't worry. Let us move on with the second case study. If you can share the PowerPoint, please.
Richa, can you share the screen? Oh, who is Subhashri is sharing? Okay, no problem.
Yeah, beautiful. Second scenario, look at the picture. It's a beautiful picture, right? You see properly how the toxic workplace is. What is a toxic workplace? It shows optimistic new hires, people who have joined with a lot of energy, enthusiasm, hopes, aspiration. But when they reach that toxic workplace, there's so much of toxicity, they just are leaving. So what is that? Attrition, job hopping. People just entered into your organization, then they realized what a toxic place it is, and they just dropped down. I really salute that great, master craftsman who has designed that piece of art, whoever it is. We have no idea how beautifully he has captured this pictorial representation of a toxic workplace. Now, what is the scenario for us? The scenario for us is finding the muri, that is the overburden or attrition among the workforce in your process. In case if you find that people are not staying in your organization, claiming that they are overburdened with job, they don't have a proper job description, there is a lot of chaos and confusion, there's no role clarity, there is a lot of power and politics in this organization, the whole place looks very toxic, and as a result I am not contributing anything to this organization, and physically, psychologically, mentally I'm upset about my entire job profile, so I'm leaving this place. If you find this kind of scenario, so we say overburdened or attrition among the workforce, okay, how do you arrest this scenario? How do you find your muri and how do you eliminate this? Can we plot it right now? Can we use some technique? So I'm going to use a nice technique. I'm going to give you a new nice technique right away. And this is called as Jidoka. Jidoka. I'm putting it there. Jidoka. Okay, so what is this Jidoka? Jidoka is again a separate process that can help in eliminating the overburdenedness or eliminating the attrition in the workplace, Muri factor. Jidoka again is from the lean philosophy. Jidoka is nothing but automation with human touch. I'll put it across here. Automation with human touch, meaning bring automation, but there should be human touch in it. Meaning, see, there should be proper decision, unbiased decisions taken. People should be given right kind of role clarity. I use this word, role clarity. Okay, people should know what they are doing. People should know the power of plan B. Meaning, if something is not working, then what is the next alternative? That's called as plan B. That's very important. Okay, you can't just sit there, oh my God, there's a problem out here. I don't know how to resolve this. Now what next? Nobody told me this. Nobody has trained me on this. I don't know how to operate. Sorry, you should have had a plan B in place. Abnormality versus normality, which we discussed in the beginning. Normality versus abnormality. Yeah, I know there is a problem out here, but normality, sorry, there's a spelling mistake. Yeah, normality versus abnormality. In other words, what I'm saying is you should have trained your workforce as managers, as team leads, as supervisors, that in a healthcare sectors, things can eventually go haywire. Be mentally prepared. Every day come with a mindset of what next, right? So when I say Jidoka, what I'm trying to bring in here is the processes should be airtight, watertight compartment. X has to ensure that things has to move from its end at this point in time. These are the documents needed. This is the process. This is how the flow chart has to be there. What if there is an eventuality? What if there is a crisis? What if there is a mishap? What if there is a issue? Do you have a plan B in place? Do you have documents in place? Do you have trained personnel in place? Do you know what next? Do you know if something goes wrong, who will be handling this? That's most important. So we say Jidoka, automation with human touch. Please go back and add this word in your formula list. At the end of the session, I'm going to ask you, how many formulas have you picked up? How many jargons have you picked up? What are the new approaches you have learned for the day? Okay, so how do I ensure that the non-value added perspective of overburdenedness be it in terms of processes, the triangulation, be it in terms of processes, be it in terms of people, be it in terms of products. How do I eliminate it? Have I foreseen that? Have I conceived that far-sighted vision as an individual? Why will I think as an individual? By the way, I will only think about my day-to-day transaction, my work, my job description. I will not think anything about above and beyond that as an ordinary individual. But what if your organization has a habit of training? What if your organization has a robust learning and development? What if your organization strongly believes in such kind of platforms? What if your organization strongly brings an attempt to create that awareness in the mindsets of people? Then definitely I would say, hey, what if something goes wrong? What if there is a crisis? Do we have a plan B in place? Do we have a judoka? Do we know how to eliminate this muri? Do we know how to control this absenteeism and tardiness? Tardiness. Tardiness amongst people, absenteeism. People are not regular. There's always a problem with this entry level, workers. There's a problem with the executives. Attrition is high level. High attrition is skyrocketing. After every performance appraisal, we have noticed that people are leaving. Why? How do we go about it? What to do? Do we have processes in place? Okay, so finding this muri and eliminating is a second scenario I have mentioned. Now let's move to the third scenario. The third scenario. Can we share the screen, please? This is the last scenario for you. So we said problems are inevitable. We said problems comes in all shapes and sizes, but we also said we know the current problem is like that. However, we want to have a better solution-centric approach in future, and we are analyzing this gap. Current problem, ideal problem, and there is a gap which we are trying to bridge. We are breaching the walls. And how are we breaching? Through the 3M. And we said that there is Mura, Muri, and the 8 ways called Mudha. Now we picked into certain unevenness that we have seen in the processes. And we said, when there is a problem, what do? We go back to the boardrooms, we brainstorm, we mind map, we have a root cause analysis, because the problem, what you see is not the problem, what you get, because the problem is lying down deeper. So we did root cause analysis, we did mind mapping, and we identified the problem. Okay, now we want to resolve this problem. So what did we do? In the second aspect, we said, yeah, there is a problem of attrition. People are leaving this company. People join with a lot of enthusiasm, then they leave this company saying that there's a lot of issues. There is no role clarity. There is a crisis. We are not taught to deal with a crisis. There is no plan B. There is no mentoring, etc. So what happened? Attrition. So you wanted to arrest that overburdenedness. You want to eliminate that muri. So he said, okay, let me use this judoka concept of automation with human touch. Let us have plan B in place. Correct. Now let us move to the scenario 3. Price transparency became a significant healthcare buzzword during 2019. Patient experience with respect to the medical insurance landscape, creating a patient portal that keeps all the interaction in one place. The new features added to the confusion, the challenges of secured payment processes, paperless statements, and also the cost of maintaining such technologies were creating variations in the process. I'm sure many of us in layman terms would have heard that, when the bill is given to a patient, he gets a heart attack. Oh my God, what is this? Okay, so how do we use this medical insurance? We are not sure about it. What are the processes, etc. So this is one area, according to the research of late, the price transparency. My God, this is a very important buzzword in the healthcare. I'm sure you would have heard across people making statement like, hey, in the beginning you said 2 lakhs. Now how's that you've added 50,000 more? Okay, now why is this scan required? Okay, I don't understand what was the need for this test. Right. So look at what the research says. The research says price transparency, it was one of the healthcare buzzword, especially during 2019 when this pandemic started. So a lot of issues are happening in which area? Number one, patient portal, as I told you, the cyber security issues. Number two, the medical insurance landscapes. And there is a lot of new features added, new technology added. If you have to take this, you have to do this, you have to clear this, you have to have all this, know your customer documents. And if there's a problem out there in your PAN card or your Aadhaar card. So the common man or the layman cannot understand all these terminologies and jargons, to be very frank, because in your case, your customer is a patient. Don't forget, there is a difference between a customer and a patient. A customer comes with a mindset of buying a product and services because he's throwing money. But here, in your case, a patient comes with the pain points. A patient doesn't come to buy a product and service from you. Patient comes with a pain. Right. So this scenario is very confusing in most of the places. There are a lot of new features today, and there is something called as the e-paper, e-bills and paperless transactions, so on and so forth. There is a lot of variations in this particular domain. Now, how do you find Mura in this context? How do you ensure that this unevenness, how do you ensure that this unevenness is cleared and you make this a smooth sailing? No, you just can't make the whole scenario crystal clear. It's not possible. Problems are there, issues are there, but at least how do you make that little smoother? It was like a tarred road. Okay, here and there you find potholes in the roads, but you can't completely eradicate a potholed road, but at least to some extent you have tarred it and ensured that there is no fall off. People are not falling off from the bikes and vehicles. At least the road is smoother, better. Not very smooth, but yes, okay, then better. How do you bring this more up? So I'll give you another tool for this. Okay, so this tool can be called as Poka yoke. Now, please put it there, Poka yoke. Please put it there in your formula sheets, and what you are supposed to do. The session has just started today, but from today onwards, you will revisit all these tools and take these tools to your workplace. Otherwise, it's of no use. You write somewhere and you forget, it's of no use. You take these tools, whatever I'm mentioning today, Poka yoke. What is Poka yoke? Now, Poka yoke clearly says that it is eliminating errors. It is making things simpler. Okay, it is talking about how do I ensure that the potholes are cleared. How do I stop these errors? How do I close these errors so that this major issues are combated, major issues are controlled, if not cleared. Poka yoke means elimination of errors, mistake proofing. Prevention is better than cure. So what we basically do is, when you are applying Poka yoke, see, in the first case I said judoka. Don't get confused with all the terminology. Okay, it's all very simple. I'll again take you through that. We are just talking about 3 M's, right? These 3 M's are like the poison pills. They are the enemies, actually. You understand? All these 3 M's are poisons. Now, how are we going to remove this poison? So I gave you the metaphor of the drainage being clogged. Imagine in your hospital, the drainage is clogged and you want to cleanse that drainage. What do? You add some chemical. That chemical will enter inside that clogged drains and clean everything. It'll mix it up, it powder it up, and the scum gets cleared. Similarly, the 3 M's which you find as a clogged perspective, or the 3 M's like a poison. The 3M is like a enemy that is stopping, that's obstructing your processes, your people, and your products. Now you want to remove, you want to declog that 3 M's. So in the first thing, I gave you a lot of tools, right? First thing I said, brainstorming, mind mapping, root cause analysis. The second thing I said, Jidoka, bring automation with human touch. Meaning, put the processes in place, but people should know what they are doing. People should be ready for any kinds of eventualities. People should have plan B in place. Then now I'm saying that you will find all kinds of issues coming up in current era, but then you should be ready with mistake proofing. Identify the errors. Think about the errors beforehand itself. Put yourself in the shoes of your patient and say that a common man or a layman might think of XYZ, might ask you why this bill, why this invoice, what is this charges for, and you should have a ready, clear-cut explanation. 4C, put yourself, empathize with the ordinary man and keep this POCA yoke, mistake proofing, identify errors. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? I'll wait for a few minutes before I move to the most powerful technique. See, this is a very high-end program. Usually I don't do this program online. Pramada is such a darling. My God, she's such a positive catalyst and a propeller. She's the first one to say yes. What about others? I want from everybody. Kindly let me know.
Anyone who needs one more round of explanation on you on this particular formula, what she said? Maybe ma'am can spend another 2-3 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, they say it's crystal clear.
Super.
Very nice. Yeah.
So, you know what? This can be put as a workshop where you start plugging in all the tools and, sit in a team and identify one realistic problem. Okay. So when I'm showing this scenario, you can recall that you might have faced many such problems in the organization. And during such time, people don't have any tools and techniques. People generally give a solution, right? Maybe they say you can do this, you can do that. And some of them might not be happy about it. Like previous exercise, what we did. Some of you said 30, some of you said 23, some of you said 22. So nobody's clear. But if you use these time-tested tools, you will arrive at a conclusion. It's like that, funnel. So funnel has a big mouth and then it tapers, right? So like that, in the funnel, you put all your problems and then you start fine tuning and tapering it at the end and bring a solution. Okay. Very well understood, says Dr. Preeta. Thank you so much. Ravi Kumar sir says crystal clear. Himanshu says perfect. Mohan sir says yes. Arun sir says yes. And Pramada, of course, said yes. Very good. So this is a beautiful concept. You have to, start mulling over it now. Start thinking over it and then go back and start putting it at your workplace. Otherwise, it's of no use. You will just sit here and say, yes, good, and all that you'll forget. But I would request you to at least, so my last slide will take care of that. Don't worry. Last slide will definitely take care of that. Yeah, let us go to the next slide. Now I'm introducing you to Kaizen. So what is Kaizen? Kai and Zen. This is one ultimate solution I'm giving for everything. So Kai and Zen.
Just show it once again to the screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Kaizen, Kaizen. Kai meaning good, Zen meaning change. Put it in the chat box. One second. Change, good, and change. So some changes that are happening for good. So we call this as continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. One second. So continuous improvement. Now, friends, I want to tell you that there is a difference between continual and continuous. Okay, this is continuous. So continuous meaning you keep changing. Continual meaning you will change for some times and then take a break and then again change. No. We're not talking about that. This is like continuous change. There is no full stop. It is comma. How beautiful Japanese philosophy. They don't want to say, yeah, we are experts now in quality. They say, okay, what next? Okay, we have achieved this. What next? What next? What next? Okay, so Kaizen is a solution for ensuring that you bring change in terms of cost, you bring change in terms of product, you bring change in terms of processes, you bring change in terms of people, okay? Gradually, eventually. Incremental change, not a radical change. Incremental, snail-paced change. Little drops of water makes mighty ocean. Little drops of water make mighty ocean. Incremental change. Bring small changes here and there. Bring small tweaking in the mindsets of people, in the skill sets, in the tool sets. Bring a change in the process. Don't say that we've been doing this for such long time. Break that bias. Yeah, you've been doing this for such long time, but then change is the watchword, change is the mantra. You have to adapt to the changing world like our cockroaches. Otherwise, you will become a dinosaur. Please, whatever name you carry, whatever reputation you have, whatever brand you are, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what is Kaizen? Kaizen approach in a nutshell. Kaizen is a process developed by the auto industry. Its roots are found in the Toyota production system, which was heavily influenced by Henry Ford's assembly line system. The word Kaizen is a hybridization of two Japanese words, Kai meaning change and Zen meaning good. Two of the basic tenets of Kaizen involve making small incremental changes or 1% improvement every day and the full participation of everyone. Wow. So I'll tell you what, how can you implement Kaizen to bring changes in terms of cost, in terms of leadership, in terms of people, in terms of product, in terms of people, project, whatever. Okay, I'll give you an example. Imagine that every day you've been thinking that I want to do exercise, but every morning when the alarm rings, you snooze the alarm. I'm going to sleep, I'm not interested. Chalo, cholo. Again, in the afternoon, when you see the food, you'll feel pangs of guilt. Oh my God, I'm eating so much, I'm not exercising. Now what next? I'm gaining weight. So no, tomorrow onwards, I have to do this exercise. And you set your alarm for 5:30. And again, once again, when the alarm snoozes, alarm screams, you snooze the alarm and says, come on, I have no energy. I don't care. Now you want to bring Kaizen. What do? Incremental change, right? 1% change, right? So next morning when your alarm rings, you will not snooze, at least. You will not snooze. You will let the alarm scream. Oh, let it shout, let it shout, let it shout, let it shout. Okay. But I'm not getting up and going for exercise. Let it shout, let it scream, let it screech. I don't care. I'm not going to snooze. That much I have decided. Day 2, alarm is screaming at 5:30. You have not snoozed. You don't want to snooze. Now you say, okay, let me get up. Let me get up. Let me get up here. Let me push myself out of the bed. At least that much I am doing today, if not anything. Day 3, your alarm is screaming, screeching. You have not snoozed it. You've got up at 5:30. You have not slept. You're still under the blanket. Come on. You're not doing any exercise. You're still under the blanket, but you woke up at 5:30. That itself is a great deal. Chalo. Next day, you got up off your blanket. You got out of your cot. And on the 5th day, at least, some exercise somewhere you're starting. You're plugging in some music, listening to some music, and at least waving your hand. And eventually, you start practicing something, and then deliberate, conscious effort, disciplined effort of tweaking, making a small change, incremental change is called as Kaizen. Bring this and see the difference it makes in your organization. Incremental change. We're not saying that, oh yeah, your alarm is ringing and you have to get up today and do the exercise. It's not going to happen, by the way, because the mindset, as I told you, it's not going to happen. Every December and Jan, we write a lot of New Year resolution. Do you think it's happening? It won't happen. In very rarest cases, only people keep up the resolution, and that resolution will run only for 2 months or 1 week, something like that. I'm not generalizing, but that's how the mindset works. Habits, hardwired. So now we want to eliminate the 3 poisons that are capturing us, which is leading to problem in terms of money, manpower, material. You want to eliminate Mudha, Mura, and the Muri perspective. So we said many tools we will apply. That is great. We can continuously apply that. However, the best tool would be to bring one incremental change in the team today itself. Today itself, no more waiting, no more. No more procrastination. Procrastination is a thief of the time. No, 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 no. Enough. We have attended this seminar and somebody has told you that go do a small change. We're not asking you for a huge paradigm shift. No, not at all. A simple, small baby step. Identify where you want to bring the change. Organize some plans. Use Jidoka, RCA, whatever you want. But execute it in the departments and continuously start taking up the journey to reach your goal post. Start that milestone journey. Okay. Now, let me move to the next slide, please. That's pure improvement, continuous improvement, Kaizen. So how do you apply this in your organization? First, know your customer. Knowledge of who you are selling a product or service to, how one creates value. It is key that companies identify their customers' interests to enhance their experience. Here we are talking about patient experience. Believe me. Your customer, I don't want to use the word customer. Yours is a patient, because customer is different for me and patient is different. Patient centricity, patient-centric approach, customer care. Know your customer. Your customer comes from a heterogeneous group. Rich, poor, below the poverty line, all kinds of people. They come with a pain point. So know your customer. Second, the core of Kaizen. What is the core of Kaizen? The core philosophy behind Kaizen is simple. You can always make or do things better, even if they seem to work well in a particular moment. Yeah. It's, as I told you, it's a small tweak here, a very little incremental change, a very little change, a baby step, an ounce, an inch change. If I go back to my workplace today and change my setup, remove all non-value added activity or remove all things that are not helping me out, or there is a lot of unwanted stuff on my table, I want to clear my desk today after the session, that itself is a Kaizen for you. Kaizen philosophy you applied. Next, be transparent. Performance and improvements must be tracked with real data. So please take a note of this word. This is called Kanban sheet. Make a Kanban sheet. Kanban sheet is into 3 steps. What are the things that are doing? What are the things that are done? What are the things that you want to do? You can revisit Google image. You will get everything. You will get Pokayo sheet. You will get Kanban sheet. You will get Jidoka. You will get RCA. You will get mind map. Only thing now you have to align your thought process and see how you can use it in your workplace. Simple. So be transparent. So how are you making it transparent? By documenting. I mean, do you recall in the first place I had said document? The third slide or fourth slide I talked about documenting processes. That's knowledge management system. You have to document processes, because today you are here, tomorrow you might not be here, somebody else will take your position, you might move to some other organization, we don't know, right? But people might change, but the processes should remain intact. This is the problem. When people leave, the explicit and the implicit processes leaves with them. So which will lead to problem. Then again, you have a fresh talent coming in there. You have to train this person. By the time you train that person, there are so many obstacles and bottlenecks that has occurred, right? So please document. How do you document? Through Kanban sheet. Kanban sheet talks about 3 categories. The things that you have done already, the things that you're doing now, and the things that you wish to take it ahead. That will build transparency. That will give an opportunity for checking. That will give an opportunity for scrutinizing. That will give an opportunity for connecting dots. That will give an opportunity for collaborating. Then let it flow. Let it happen. Everyone in the organization is working towards removing any waste from their corner of the business, while also in the process creating value. How beautiful. See, first you said you should know your customer. Second, you said understand the philosophy of Kaizen, which is nothing but an incremental change. Then you said be transparent, use Kanban sheet. So you are tracking everything, document is in place, everybody sees that blueprint. Correct. Now let it flow, let it become a culture. It's not that one Monday morning you started, then again on Friday morning you forgot. No, 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 no. Please set that culture, set the precedence. Let it start from today after the session itself. My last slide will definitely ask you to do all that. Let it flow. Okay, so what are you doing? Everywhere you are removing waste, non-value added waste in the value chain. Everybody is given an opportunity to deplete, delete, remove, eliminate, eradicate, deteriorate the waste that is acting as a bottleneck, that is acting as a chock-a-block, that is acting as a choking source, that has choked your drainage, that has blocked your drain. You are removing it. Everybody is removing, not only one person. Everybody in the system is doing mudha, spotting mudha and removing it, spotting mudha and removing it, spotting the 8 wastes called as mudha and removing it. Mudha, muri and mura has been eventually removed. It's just a cycle. It's going on and on and on and on and on. Every day, like how the sun rises and how the sun sets, you are keen on eliminating the waste. Mudha, mudha, muri. Let it happen. Let it continue. So you are setting a precedence, whether you are there in the organization or not. The process continues, the culture continues, the standards are set. See how beautifully your organization is reaching into a resonant area, not a dissonant area. Third, go to Gemba. What is Gemba? Gemba meaning place. We say Gemba Kaizen. Gemba means place. Which is your place? Workplace. Your cabinet, your cabin, your zone, your home front. For me, now this is Gemba. From here I am operating. So this is my Gemba. So go to Gemba. You can think of a following action as value is created when something is actually happening. Yeah, as I told you, you go to your Gemba today and remove all unwanted things from your desk. It could be papers, it could be files, it could be the pens which are not writing, it could be a very old calendar lying there, it could be a useless diary, or it could be you visit your desktop and delete all that unused folders, waste records which you have piled up there, all that. Okay, or even for that matter, sometimes your dustbin is overflowing and you want to clean it. First go after the session and clean your dustbin. That also is going to the Gemba and bringing some positive action. That is why Toyota is a big name. That's why Japan philosophy is a very big name. They don't procrastinate. They don't procrastinate at all. If something has to be cleared, it is now. They set priority right now. Not like us. We always procrastinate. Procrastination is a thief of the time. Oh, I have to draft this mail. I think I'll do it tomorrow. I think I have to send this document. They are boring. I attended a training now itself. I want to have a good lunch and take a nap now. I don't want to. I think I'll do it day after. By then, there is a slip between the cup and the lip. Anything can happen. There is a slip between the cup. I'll show you. So this is a cup and the lip. There is a slip. Anything can happen, right? So priority matters. Go to Gemba. Last but not the least, empower people. Leadership must set goals for their teams that are not contradictory. Wow, I love that. They should offer a system and tools to help the teams achieve their goals. Beautiful. Now, what is sorry, leadership? What are these guys doing in the leadership team? They are in fact hand-holding the teams. They are in fact mentoring the team. They are in fact showing the path. They are laying down the tools and techniques so that the team members are clear about how to reach the destination and the goalpost or the milestones. right? So what do you think they should do? They should empower people. How is that possible? Empowering people is possible when you practice trust and transparency, when you are authentic as a leader, as a manager, as a supervisor, as a team lead. You practice what you preach. You practice about authenticity, but then you are not transparent, it's unethical. So you can't expect any change in your team. On the other hand, you practice exactly what you are doing. People observe you, right? And it gets into a cascading roles. The practice becomes cascading. Automatically, they start practicing it. So what are you supposed to do as leaders and managers and team leads? You have to offer them a system and tools. Let there be role clarity. Let there not be contradictory roles. Let there be clarity in what they are doing. Let there be clear, authenticity in their approach. Let there be ethics. Let there be transparency. Let there be trust. Let there be camaraderie. Let there be synergy. Let your doors be open. Let people come back and challenge you on certain things in the boardrooms. Your boardroom should be a platform for innovation, for ideation, for bringing newness, for novelty, for challenging that problems. Gemba means place, exactly. Okay, so what I meant was when I say empowering people here, the leaders and the managers have a major role to play. Now let us see what the managers can do. Let's go back to the next slide, please. Yes. So all the managers, supervisors, leaders, team leads, please wake up and see how you can drive Kaizen so that you can remove the 3 poisons from your systems, from your processes, and ensure that the cost return on investment is identified. Cost leadership is driven. What do? Create challenges. How? Problems are inevitable. Understand the problem, but create an innovative vision, meaning make people realize the fact that today you are living in an era where problems are inevitable. You cannot run away from problems. When we started, we said, how do you define your problem? So you told me problems come in all shapes and sizes. So be ready for that. But have a vision. What is a vision? This is the problem, current problem. And we want to attain ideal state. And there is a lot of gaps. How do I bridge this gap? So work on the mindsets of people. Look into what best skill sets can be introduced in the boardroom. And create that as your tool set. Continuously keep using those tool sets in the form of Kaizen. Execute, communicate and share mid to long-term action plan. Very important. Managers should have blueprints of action plan. Please, I'm using this word blueprint. Blueprint of your action plan. You have to go back and revisit your action plan. It just can't be another, document that was made and dropped somewhere. No. Revisit. So how to revisit, how to do that? So I'll tell you an idea for that. I have a list here. I'll tell you what to do, when you talk about, just a second. Many times people say, I don't care. Now you should say, I don't care to, I do care. I don't care. Now make people realize that I do care. As managers, drive in this philosophy. I don't care to, I do care. Then what should you do to execute problems? You should have meetings like raise red flags. I'm putting it there. RISE, raise red flags. Meaning, whenever there is a problem and an issue, let them raise red flags. Meaning, let them say, oh, there is an important meeting that has to be called. Raise red flags. Then there is a word which is called as meruka. Meruka means visualization. Visualize abnormalities, normalities. Be very open for visualization. 1 second. Yeah, Meruka. Visualization. Meruka means visualization. Visualize what can happen 6 months down the line. What can happen 2 months down the line. What can happen next week. So your meetings should be productive. That's what I'm saying. When you're executing and communicating, when you're sharing your action plan, have a far-sighted vision, okay, and create awareness about situations and perspectives. How? How? Zero progress is also an update, meaning identify teams which have not progressed and don't put them down. Zero progress also, I'll show you that, is an update. Empower people to tell that, okay, you have not done anything. Your team has not done anything. So don't make them scared and demotivate them. Yeah, zero progress is also an update. So create that awareness of the situations and perspectives, and resource allocation. Allocate people the right talent. As I told you in the beginning, we had talked about Tim Woods, right? Yes was the last skills. How to harness, leverage talents. Many people will have hidden talents. If the managers are open, for discussions, if the managers are very assertive in nature, if the leaders believe in what is, if the managers believe in what is called as a open door policy, you will see that there are a lot of talents flowing in, because people have the guts to come and talk to you. There is authenticity, transparency, and trust. So ask people what they are good at and allocate the right resources and set standardization. Okay. So how do you set standardization? You can have milestone milestone meetings. You can have stand-up meeting every day. Every day stand-up meetings can help you understand what are the problems. You can have, these are all timely updates. That is what I meant when I said standardization. Have stand-up meetings. Let every day people, we call this as huddle meeting also. Huddle meetings. So what are you doing basically as managers? You're driving Kaizen. How are you driving Kaizen? First of all, you're trying to say that be open for challenges when you work in healthcare industry, number one. Number two, you don't carry that attitude of I don't care. From today onwards, you would say I do care. I don't care to I do care. Then we said raise red flags whenever there is an issue. Meruka, visualize problems. Don't stop anybody because they are not progressing. Zero progress is also an update, right? Then we said stand-up meetings. Then we said timely updates and milestone meetings, huddle meetings. All these will demonstrate exemplary leadership. I'm telling you how leadership can be integrated in the process. I'm telling you how Kaizen can be implemented by managers, by seniors, by leadership team. This is literally the process, the blueprint, the action plan. Okay, this will help you to achieve 100% cost reduction. This will help in differentiating your processes. This will, but still people are scared from change. Yes, they like to do what? Yeah, Kim's health team. I totally understand and acknowledge your statement. People don't want to change. They're scared. Why they are scared? I'll tell you. Mindset again. Mindset, skill set, and the tool set, right? So the mindset, you go back to the mindset. People say we are comfortable, we are happy with whatever we are doing. Why are you introducing a new technology here? Hey, what is this software? Why is the software introduced? We were doing good job, right? Hey, come on, we are doing this for 20 years. Why are you talking about a new? We're not happy. See, our mindset is like that. We want cost differentiation, we want focus differentiation, we want better leadership, we want a lot of money, we want promotions, we want this, we want that, but we are not ready to come out of our comfort zone. This is the problem with us. So where is the problem? The funnel and the tapering end. The tapering end will take you to the mindset of people. So how do you bring that change the mindset? How do you bring that change the mindset? You have to push and pull strategy, we say in management. Push and pull strategy. What is push? Push processes, push culture, make people understand. See, this is also pushing this, learning platform. What Ajita has introduced is a push and pull strategy. Yesterday, we got a confirmation that 40 plus people have taken a participated, are ready to participate, have taken this membership, right? So what was she doing? She was pushing to the last moment, because we need to push and pull. We just can't say, no, it is not happening. This is called self-leadership. We are all leaders. Today, the whole concept of leadership has undergone a sea change. It's not autocratic leaders, bureaucratic leaders, diplomatic leaders. It is self-leaders. Who are self-leaders? Self-leaders are people who drive from within. You drive from within. There are so many problems externally. Okay, there is pandemic era. There is issue with your economy. There is issue in the political aspect. There is an issue in the country. There is an issue in the society. There is an issue in the family. There is an issue physically, psychologically. But in spite of all that, self-leaders are people who make it happen. Make it happen. How? Meruka. Visualize in the mind's eye. I want to do this. I will do this. This is my goalpost. I'm seeing that in my mind's eye. Meruka. Visualize it. When you watch it in your mind's eye, it will get manifested. People are not ready for change, right? But you are driving this platform. You're asking them to take part in this. And you're asking for people to introduce and integrate one of the tool. Go back to your workplace and tell us, what is that tool which you have picked from the learning platform you're applying? Come on, show us. So people will be scared. People will be scared. People will be not happy. People will be not ready to come out of their comfort zone. People will be, rebels. People will have negativity. People will criticize, condemn, complain. People will have apprehension. People will have fear of the unknown. This is how it is. This is how it is. That's the hardcore reality. But are we pushing and pulling as leaders? Are we integrating change? Are we the change agents? Are we the positive catalyst? Are we unlocking the positivity from within? Himanshu says no voice. Himanshu, there is a problem at your end, but others are able to listen probably. But still we will make it happen.
Is he mentioning about the technical voice, or is he talking about no voice in the organization?
I have no clue.
Can you specify? Yeah. You have any response, Himanshu? Is it that you're not able to hear what ma'am is saying, or you meant to say what is happening in the organization?
We are waiting for your answer, Himanshu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think we'll continue. So if he responds, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so this is exactly how you should make it happen. So there will be mudha, there will be mura, there will be muri, And what is first part of the lesson? The first part of the lesson is that problems are inevitable. We are living in a problem zone. Problems comes in all shape and size, but we have to build this problem solving skills plus resilience. That is why we said prosilience. We are accepting problems, but we are not giving up. And that's where we drive in the self-leadership. So as managers, let us try and incorporate Kaizen. How do we go about it? What to do is a challenge, but we will not give up, because when you sit in a learning platform, you are triggered to think in a different manner, because there is an awareness about certain concepts, tools, techniques. And all these are used by worldwide, used world over by leading organizations, successful organizations. If you step into any of the manufacturing sectors today, at this point in time, you will notice that they blindly follow Kaizen, blindly follow Kaizen. So where is that incremental change happening? First, it has to happen in the mindsets of people. Then eventually it will cascade into the next level of skill set. And then it becomes a culture and it becomes a part of your tool set. Let's move to the next slide. Yeah. Now I am asking you these three questions in retrospection. What is the first question? what is the most interesting concept that you have picked from this session? It might, I have nearly 40 people. I'm not sure how many people I have. So I think, I'm not sure, I'm not able to see. Everybody will have one concept, right? So at the end of the session, I would want everybody to enable your video and just tell me what is that one interesting concept out of so many which we have discussed you have chosen. Number one. Number two, which was a new jargon you have heard for the first time? You heard for the first time. Maybe you have heard so many, but still, one of these jargons are very close to your heart. And number three, what is that one key takeaway you wish to practice at your workplace? This is very important. You want to pick this concept, jargon, practice, procedure, tool, technique, and implement in your workplace as a part of your job from today onwards. So without these three questions, so I have 15 minutes more on my hand. These three questions only will ensure that today's session is successful. Okay. So I would want you to take 2 minutes and retrospect on all these three things, revisit and come back. By then I'll give you a recap on what we did, what was the learning. See, this lean philosophy is an ocean, but we have chosen to pick only 3M. Why we have picked 3M? Because we wanted to build cost leadership. How cost leadership can be built? It is again a process. So we first started off with a formula: mindset is equal to skill set plus tool set. Everything lies in the minds of people. The energy is within us and you have to tap that. And all of us are different, right? All the 5 fingers are different, but all the 5 fingers are needed to make a fist. You can't say, I don't need this thumb, or you can't say that I don't need this forefinger. No, 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 no. All the 5 fingers are needed to make a fist. Though we understand that all of us are unique, all of us are different personality traits, we carry different characteristics, attributes, personality types, introverts, extroverts, ambiverts, etc. We come with a lot of biases, experiences, stereotypes, prejudices here. Oh, I worked 20 years and I know what it is. I worked here in the healthcare for 25 years and I know how healthcare operates. No, 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 no. You worked for 25 years. Things were different then. Things are different now. Things will be different in future, please. So experiences is fine, but it is also creating biases within us. Okay, lot of biases. So this is stopping us from progress. As Kim Health rightly pointed out, people are not ready to come out of their comfort zone. People are scared. Fear of the unknown, fear of many things is stopping me from progressing. You're not ready to come out of the comfort zone. So if you remember, I started off with the case study of Wipro. Wipro, a oil manufacturing company, is today into silicon chip IT. They have a symbol of sunflower even today, which says that they were a vegetable oil making company. Sunflower shows the ladder from where they emanated, the first step of the ladder. And I said everything lies with people in an organization. How do you bring that resonance, synergy? How do you stop the dissonance? How do you cut off that negativity? Not easy though, not easy. Nothing is easy. Nothing is a cakewalk. Nothing falls from heaven. This is reality. Please understand. You just can't say, oh yeah, we've been doing so many things and we're not getting the end results. It might take some time. That is why we said prosilience is the latest terminology. Problem solving skills plus resilience, emotional intelligence. Hold on, hold on, hold on. You need that perseverance. And then we slowly moved on to the aspects of problems. We discussed how problems look, and healthcare professionals always believe in solution centricity approach. And we said, yes, there is a need for us to look into how to combat with the problems, right? So we said, why not introduce the 3M, which is picked from the lean philosophy. Lean is a huge terminology. TQM, total quality management, but we just chose 3M because we find this 3M as the poison or the chock-a-block or the bottleneck, right, in the systems. So we said the triangulate. The triangulate was the people, processes, and the product. It all starts with people, come on. That's the root cause. Then we slowly moved on to all the 3 categories, Mudha, Mura, and the Muri. Right? Unevenness, overburden, and the 8 burdens or waste. We want to cut off that non-value adding activity. That is where we become cost leaders. That is where the thought leadership is applied. Correct. So what did we do? We said, okay, let us pick each M. So first we went with what is called as the Mura, unevenness. And we said, we can, first of all, when there is a problem, let us look back. So let us understand what is the problem. So I was saying you the model, clarifying the problem. Then I said breaking down the problem. Correct? Then we have the root cause analysis, which we discussed through mind map, through RCA, through brainstorming. Then we develop countermeasures. We develop countermeasures through Jidoka, automation with human touch, right? Or Pokayok. Any of these is fine. Then we set standard. Simple. It sounds simple, but very difficult. But as I mentioned to you, it's all in the mindsets. And today, I think you have taken a Kaizen. You have taken 1% incremental change by joining this platform of learning. That itself is a huge paradigm shift. Okay, till yesterday, you would not have thought that, oh, what is this online sessions? Online sessions are so boring. How do you think this topic will be discussed? What is cost leadership? How is it going to be beneficial for me? Oh my God, there are so many other things to complete. But you took a decision today to be here on this platform. That itself is Kaizen, 1% incremental change. So half the battle is won, if you ask me. Right? So now tell me in retrospection, I want all the 3 answers. We will go to the last slide and close it, Ajita ma'am, and then we will take the questions from people.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So interesting concept, new jargon. What is the key takeaway which you are going to practice? Anything is fine, but I want everybody to talk. Key takeaway is most important.
Richa, please stop sharing.
Oh, yeah. Ramada is the heroine of the day. Star performer. Superb. Yeah.
I think many of them have responded.
Okay.
Really well. Dr. Arun, Ramada,
Yes.
Ravi Kumar, Deepika,
Yes.
Dr. Preeta, Kim's Health.
Fantastic. Absolutely. No doubts.
Yeah, Dr. Arun,
no, I thought, I thought somebody had a question.
I really appreciate Mr. Vijay Vale. He was the first person to log in.
Wow.
Today he was, he logged in at around 9:30. Can you switch on your camera, please?
Abdul Rahman has a question. Probably he's raised his hand.
Yeah, Abdul. Yes, Abdul.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You can unmute yourself, Abdul.
Yeah.
No questions, madam. It was a very nice class and learned a lot of new terms. I was unable to enter the chat box, so I just raised my hand. That's all.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kim's Health, are you able to unmute yourself now? Can you try? No. And we will have another session wherein we will ensure that you will be given a chance to talk. We were also very much interested to hear from you. Anyone else who would? Mr. Akhil from, sorry, can I see who's Akhil from Manipal, Sarjapur? I just want to appreciate him on this forum. Akhil from Manipal, Sarjapur unit, Manipal Hospital. Akhil?
Akhil Jacob John, I think.
Are you from Manipal, Akhil?
No. I'm from Royal Bari Hospital. So the
Okay.
same guy.
Akhil
Okay.
says unable to unmute.
Oh, can
Now
you
he
give
can
him?
able.
Yeah. Can you
Yes,
just
now he's able.
can you try now and switch on your camera, Akhil? You're still not able to unmute yourself. At least can you switch on your camera? Is this Akhil, biomedical? All right, all right. Okay, I appreciate Akhil also. He was our first participant who enrolled himself for this program. So thank you, Akhil, for showing that interest, and all of you for that matter. But since you were the first one, you get that privilege, um, and Akhil was the name which was like, we got as an announcement, we got the first participant, Akhil. So we just wanted to see you in person. Yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, do we have one more slide to show, or
No, no slides are done. So
done?
I
Okay.
I wanted everybody to give me one key takeaway that they wish to put it in their workplace.
Those who can unmute yourself, please unmute and talk. We are almost come to the end of the session. At least now we should be able to hear you all, please.
Ma'am, I want to take Kaizen with me when I'm going to my workplace, because I will start from a small incremental change, which can make into a big change, which will develop the organizational standard as well, and which will be confidence with the staffs to bring up a good change in the organization. And I'm thanking you, MedLern and Prija ma'am, to get us in such a good topic. And it's a pleasure for me to congratulate on behalf of all my colleagues who are attending this meeting, and all the best, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And request everybody to take that printout of the word Kaizen and put it in your cabin, your team, especially Pramada. You can ask everybody to take that word Kaizen, take a printout and put it in the cabin. It gives a good feeling, good change, good change. Continuously keep looking into that word.
So
Anyone
it's
else?
Mohan and
Yeah, Mohan.
Mohan.
so I would thank MedLearn and Madam as well for giving us a wonderful opportunity to learn. So what I would do first is to take this session about this to my team so that they will make the impact changes in the unit level and also in our hospital. So apart from that, we have learned a lot of other formulas as well, in this session. So definitely we would go through it and work on the sheets and whatever you have given the inputs on different sheets. Yes, of course, we will go back, sit on Google for some time and understand about these things. And yeah, it was really a wonderful opportunity to learn. Thank you so much. Thanks for your
Thank you.
time and knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? It's not anyone. Everyone has to say something. Teams Health, are you able to unmute yourself from your phone? No.
Can you please try to join through the phone?
Did you join through phone? Okay. Akhil Jacob John. Please unmute and say few words.
Okay. The class is so helpful. I mean, the topics covered. I've already heard these topics someplace else, but it's refreshing to hear a fresh view on the same topics. And I think I'll share this with my subordinates as well. And I hope that this will bring in a new perspective for all of us, and it'll help us grow in a better way. Thank you, madam.
Very good. Thank you so much. Dr. Preeta?
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Preja ma'am, for this wonderful session. I mean, it was a great refreshment for all the management concepts that I have like even gone through during my MBA. So, the major takeaway for me in this session was the mantra that is mindset is equal to skill set plus tool set. I mean, that's where like one as I mean me as a manager I should look into, and that was very something that really attracted me, that concept of all, because as a manager, like looking at the three M's, somewhere the overburdenness, yeah, the muri, one of the three M's that always is there, the shoulder. I mean, is shouldered as a responsibility for me, but then. Yeah, if I look into the mindset of the people, I think the rest of the problems are taken care of. So that's one important concept that I would take away from this session. And thank you, MedLern, for giving us this platform to from our busy schedule to giving us the platform to come and join and have an interaction with Preja ma'am. So thank you once again.
You're most welcome, Dr. Preeta. So I can see Mr. Koh. Is that the way we pronounce your name, Mr. Koh? K-O-H. I'm sorry if I have mispronounced your name. Mr. Koh, can you unmute yourself and talk, please? Okay, Mr. Vijayvel, sir. Hello, sir. Can you unmute and say a few words? What's your experience?
Yeah, thank you. This is a nice experience I am having this session. And we are also already some kind of knowing that about our Mura and Mudi, and also something like that we are experiencing, and we are using 5S also here. 5S.
Yeah.
So already we know that it is a nice session, and it will be help to improve our own. Thank you for this session, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
You.
Mr. Himanshu, are you able to unmute? And
This is the excellent session for the learning. And from this total discussion, what the first and most important thing is mindset. Then we have to, unless and until we change our mindset, we cannot perform and we cannot do other things. Then second takeaway is the instead of going for 3M, that is Mura, Muda and Mira, it is better to go for the Kaizen concept. Kaizen concept is, even though as example you given, Alram, we are trying, but if you will be try little changes by day, it will be which will be help to achieve the organization object, as well as the personal discipline also will come.
Absolutely.
These two things I actually take away from this total whole discussion. And madam, actually it is excellent program and excellent learning process, which will be helping our personal and professional life. Thank you.
So
thank you so much, Mr. Himanshu. Anyone else? There are many other people. I'm not able to see everyone on the screen. Deepika, you're not able to unmute. Okay, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, she I'll read it. I hope you all can see the message in the chat box what she has put. She's thanking MedLern for giving this forum to discuss most reliable topic and giving us very pragmatic way of handling things using these simple tools. Kudos to the entire organizing team. Thank you so much, Deepika. Anyone else? I'm not I'm sorry, I'm not able to see all the names. That's why I'm not taking out the names. If anyone wants to, who are unable to, who are able to unmute yourself and talk, please do so. Or else you can always welcome to put your feedback on the chat box. Having said that, we will be sharing a feedback link that is through a Google form. So we request all of you to please fill up that feedback form. It will be really valuable for all of us, to understand, and if whatever improvement we have to bring in our way of conducting the sessions will help us a long way. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, any closing note from your end? Mr. Fahid, we saw your message. Thank you so much. I think you are not able to unmute yourself, but we saw your message. Thank you so much. Subhashri has put the feedback link on the chat box. You can click there. It's a very simple feedback. We have not kept too many questions. You can just quickly finish it. We don't want to waste too much of your time. So, yeah.
Can we have a picture, Ajita?
Yeah, we have taken a screenshot. Yes, we have taken. I'll share it to you.
Sure.
So, ma'am, any closing note from your end?
Yeah, so closing note is nothing but whatever you have gained from here, please at least use one technique, one best practice, and see the difference it makes in your team, and definitely it will have a cascading effect on the organization. So we have noticed whenever we implement lean and TQM at various organizations, it all depends on the mindset of people. Few people who take it very seriously go there and start implementing and integrating it across, make a huge change. So they become the change catalyst, and they are the real-time heroes. So we would request you guys to implement at least one out of so many techniques which you have heard for the first time, and bring differences to your organization, to your team, and keep inspiring us healthcare professionals. You are definitely the heartbeat, the pulse of the nation. You have brought a lot of changes in the economy, and without your help and support, I don't think we would have crisscrossed this pandemic time. So thank you. God bless. Wishing you all a brilliant, bright future. Take care. That's all from my end. Thank you for this great opportunity, MedLern, Ajita, and team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prija ma'am. And I thank each participant for taking out time and attending the session. And we are happy to hear that all of you gained some information and knowledge. And looking forward to conduct more and more such sessions. And I expect all of you be a very active participant for every session. Thank you so much, and thank our marketing team and our HST team and my team and all of us, from MedLearn, whoever were part of this program and made it a great success. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you so much.